Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei gave emotional support to Milfs and made mega harem movie. Before we start, please go support ecipionelafricano for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. The story is about the matriarchs of the houses betraying their wives with others and betraying the alliance of the factions, and Issei confronts the defectors and heals the hearts of the leaders, and becomes leaders of the family's houses and will become for the power to confront the deserters, becomes one of the maous. Prologue. Narrates Issei. I correct this part is how the story was before the following parts. I correct the story before Rias' confession with Issei. Without further ado, let's begin. Hello, I am Hugo Issei, pawn of Rias Gremry. This is my story before my confrontation with the deserters or traitors. I Hugo Issei, pawn of Rias Gremry, love and the person who gave me a second chance and also the one I've been in love with. I am also the most powerful security and the one who has been able to tame a power that the sacred gear offers. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. My story began on a bridge in the city of Kwa, a girl named Amano Yuma, whose real name was Reincarnation. I invited her out on a date. Only at dusk I discovered she was a fallen angel and she killed me, and all I could think about was dying in the breasts of the number 1 Isan of Kwa Academy, Rias Gremry. Her blood-red hair, like those in optical blue-green color. The next day I woke up and asked my friends about that girl, and they told me they had never met her. I saw her phone, and there were no photos with her either. I doubted if I was dreaming or if it was real. A few days passed. That night I passed by the same park, and suddenly an adult man with a gray cape appeared. He revealed that he was a fallen angel and I was pierced by a spear of light. The next day I saw Rias Gremry herself in my bed. She explained to me that I was reincarnated as a demon and now she was my master. We went to the academy. In the afternoon at the occult club, there were Eiko Himejima, the second 1 Isan of the academy, Kiba Yudo, the Prince of Kwa, Kaneko Tujo, the mascot of the occult club. All of them were members of Rias Gremry's entourage, including myself. After a few days, I met a nun named Asia Argento. After making a contract with a rogue exorcist named Freed, after that I tried to keep her safe even though I was a demon. Suddenly Reincarnation appeared, taking Asia with them. I, along with Kaneko, went to look for her. Of course Kiba didn't want to and said he had other more important things to attend to. In the end we went. We fell for Freed, but it was too late. Asia's sacred gear was extracted. That enraged me and I had evolved or changed my sacred gear. That change was because of my emotions of loss and anger that I had at the moment. I sent Reincarnation flying. When my Amarias said that it was not a twice critical, the power can increase the powers of its bearer immeasurably for 10 seconds, to the point that it can even destroy a god. It is one of the 13 Longinus gear, the Scarlet Emperor's glove, boosted gear. So from that moment on I became the possessor of a weapon to kill a god. My mistress revived Asia as her bishop. I also discovered that there would be other retinues. It was that of the President Sona Citri. We had a burning match to decide to go to the Forest of the Familiars. In the end we won and claimed the prize. Asia got her familiar. Days passed when my mistress appeared in front of me asking me to do it with her. Time was on my way. When I was about to make my decision, out of nowhere a magic circle appeared, with a silver-haired woman in front of us, a very beautiful woman. He took Rias. I didn't know why, but in the morning I found out that she was engaged to a clan heir, called Razor Phoenix. From the first moment I saw him, I hated him. I knew that guy wasn't trustworthy. He flirted with Rias, something that made her uncomfortable. The same silver-haired woman appeared before us, proposing that the agreement to break the engagement was a renting game. There were only 6 of us, and the Yakitori entourage had the full game, 15 beautiful girls. I was envious that he had a harem, including his sister. I tried to stop him right there, but one of his pawns stopped me, and all I managed to do was make a fool of myself. The next day we trained at the president's house for 10 days. It was time for the fight. The 5 of us trained hard while Kiba entered on his own. I tried to become even stronger. The night before the moment I heard the true reasons why the president wanted to get rid of that commitment. From that moment on that feeling began to sprout. The day arrived, we entered the battlefield. As planned by more president we attacked. Although something was not right at the moment I heard that the knight of Rias had been eliminated, it seemed to me that Kiba with all the training he had couldn't handle just one razor piece. That made me wonder if his pieces were strong, and the fact is that they are strong. I activated my secret weapon dress breaker, causing the girls to break it, earning the contempt of my kohai for being perverted. The first to leave the fight was Kaneko. I faced 2 knights, a rook, 6 pawns and a bishop. The wear and tear of the fights affected me for quite some time. I heard an explosion. It was Akeno who had left the field. I avenged her death. With dragon shot I finished off all the pieces. I went to where the president and Asia were. Asia healed me. My energies were exhausted from how much I had fought. I did it with the king, Razor. The fight was even, but my energies were not enough and Raze beat me up. The president gave up and accepted the engagement. I felt so weak. I only saw those blue eyes shed tears and I fell unconscious. Asia took care of me during that period of time. When Graphy had come to tell me to go to the engagement party and challenge the Phoenix for Rias's freedom. It didn't take me seconds to respond when I accepted. I spoke with Drake for a sacrifice, my left arm for the dragon's power. I told him Asia asked him for a cross and holy water, and I left to meet him. I interrupted the president's wedding. Before I challenged him, the Mao appeared, saying that he was there. I told him that I came to challenge the Phoenix for the president's freedom. Somewhat uncomfortable and annoyed, he accepted the fight. On the fighting ground, I finished off the Yakitori with the Red Emperor's armor, balance breaker, boosted gear scale mail, and the things that Asia had given me. In the end, I won and obtained the president's freedom. We left the underworld to a griffin, where in the skies of the underworld, the president gave me her first kiss. Days passed, and the president also came to stay at my house, with the excuse of being closer to her colleagues. Days passed, and some girls from the church came to look for some Excalibur that were stolen from the church. We helped them search, but one of them was my childhood friend, Irina Sherduo. In the end she was injured, because of Freed, since he was with one of the cadres of the fallen angels Kokabil. We fought against Kokabil. It is true that we were about to give up, but something inside me told me to go ahead, to use my last strength to protect them. I used my last resources and momentarily activated my armor. I made time for the reinforcements, fighting with a cadre leaving him half-wounded, when my rival, the White Dragon, appeared. The 2 dragons talked since the fight between us was inevitable. He withdrew, taking Kokabil to another place. During that time, I met Akeno's mother, just like her cousin and aunt. I swear I was almost confused when differentiating such beauties. Just like Akeno, her cousin Sasaki was a masochist. Just like her, she was after me, seducing me. But in the end, there was the parent-teacher meeting where I met Rias's mother, a very beautiful woman, just like the mother of the student council president Sona Citri and her sister Maui Leviathan. Both Sona's mother and sister were very beautiful, but for some strange reason Kiba and Saji didn't show up to class that day. We invited them to our house. As always, it was just Mom and me, since a traitor, if you can call him that, always works too hard. After a few days, also that Sasaka entered the academy and Rias's new bishop, Gasper, a vampire with the power to have time, also that I had met with the leader of heaven Michael and with the most beautiful seraph Gabriel to give me the Escalon sword. After that there was a meeting of leaders, where the topic of the alliance of the 3 factions was discussed. At the meeting, some wizards attacked the school, and Valor revealed himself, and he was the grandson of the original Lucifer, and had shown his 10 demon wings. Anyway, the 2 of us fought for a while. I managed to steal an ability from the White Dragon. When Biqua stopped us, damn, I don't know how to spell it, he stopped the fight. Everything was calm when we received the arrival of Kuroka's sister. I'll change some of her stories. To try to take her away, I refused. I was going to defend my kohai at all costs. We had a small confrontation, but in the end she withdrew. Like the following week, she appeared again in the occult club before holding a meeting of young demons. But as if by magic, an envoy from the clan that was believed to be extinct, the Nikomatas. So much so that Kaneko and Kuroka were happy, but there was no time to celebrate. The territory had been attacked by the Chaos Brigade. She had taken us to a village that was more or less populated. Those who were being attacked were those of their own kind and the leader of the faction of the survivors of the Nikomata faction. I, along with the girls, fought in favor of the Nikomatas who, with a special poison for that species, killed them, just like the girls, not me because I am part dragon, since in my blood the fusion of my blood with the arm given to the dragon. But that same feeling welled up inside me: protect them, kill the traitors. I activated the balance breaker, and a great power flowed from me, almost uncontrollable. I wiped out almost all the enemies, as that feeling took over me, and I finished them off. Some escaped, but it was very difficult for me to defeat the leader. The leader had enormous control over senjutsu and other skills. In that fight, I almost thought I was going to die. I left the boss badly injured, and due to exhaustion, I spent a day in bed without being able to move. All that energy used made me involuntary. That day, I was looking after the girls due to the physical and energetic exhaustion. There I met Kuroka and Kaniko's mother, Fujimai. She told us how she was saved from that guy who used her as an experiment. When she had already realized that she was able to get out of that trance, that he never loved her, he only used her, she escaped. He also said that when he returned for his daughters, they were already gone. He had been searching for them for years, but he couldn't find them. When he discovered they were in Kwa, he was very happy, but he was in conflict with the leader and his followers. That emotional image of the reunion of mother and daughters moved me. Also in that village was Anu the dragon Tiamat, the queen of chaos, along with 2 other dragons. I will mention them later. After that, the Magari leader, along with the leader of the Nordic faction, Odin with Freya, as well as the god Zeus with his daughters Athena and Artemis and the goddess Aphrodite. The meeting of the young demons was held where I met the heirs Belial and Jaldabaoth, called Alicia Belial and Louisa Jaldabaoth, along with their entire entourage. There were almost 15 girls, in addition to meeting Lady Gremory, Citri, Phoenix, Belial and Jaldabaoth. Suddenly the god Loki appeared. They sent him to another place. We, along with the Citri entourage, went to fight against the god and a replica of his children. I almost died from Fenrir's attack, who sank his teeth into me with my armor on. My beloved Rias showed all her fury, just like the other girls. With a drop of phoenix tears, I lifted Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, and imprisoned the god Loki. Then we had a confrontation with a high-class demon called Diodora Astaroth, and he wanted to take my sweet Asia without allowing it. My dragon instinct came out defending my sweet Asia. We went to the meeting where Diodora was, but the most incredible thing was that he was part of the Khaos Brigade, but he still took Asia. We went out to attack where we defeated the Diodora pieces and arrived with them. I faced the anger, the rage, and my 2 feelings, one of a dragon and the other that was inside told me to kill him, and so I began to transform into the dragon armor. Where I gave Diodora a beating, leaving him on the verge of death when he saw the descendant of King Beelzebub. Making Asia disappear, I couldn't resist any longer and became something more deadly and powerful, the Juggernaut drive, and finished off the descendant of the Demon King. She is in a trance because of some words from Reincarnation. When she discovers that another magic demon, called Artoria Pedragon, she is not Artur's wife, she is his sister, took Asia out of the dimensional gap. I fell unconscious again from the excessive power I exerted. After a copy of me took my beloved, I had to go out to meet my other self. I managed to win, and after that I didn't know anything. After a few days we were on our way to a school excursion to Kyoto. When we arrived to the city, we found out that the leader of the yokai faction was kidnapped. We were willing to help. I met Azazel, the Mao Leviathan, and the daughter of the leader, Kunuo. She looked at me with a tender look, and in a fatherly way I approached her and told her that everything would be okay. I went to meet the girls on a bridge, and there was a big fight where I knew how to lead the team with strategy. After that we didn't concentrate where they had the leader. We arrived too late, and worse, we didn't give up, and with the help of Sun Wukong we defeated Xiao Qiao. After using my power of the linguistic chest, we were able to bring the leader back to her original form. She thanked me for saving her and protecting her daughter, and she also told me that she owed me. And Kunuo thanked me for helping her. I just nodded, knelt down, and kissed her on the forehead, telling her that I'll always be there when she needs help. Finished saying my words, I tenderly embraced the Iagil, who hugged her protectively. When it was time to leave, the leader kissed me on the cheek, telling me we would meet again. I was speechless by those words. After the events, the ranting game competition approached, where my mistress faced her cousin Sariorg, the strongest demon. Also, he had a program in the underworld called the Issei Dragon, which weakened Drake's pride. When she and I were alone in the sauna, I couldn't confess or say Rias to her, but I always called her President. She got mad at me. I felt bad, and with the preparations for the school festival, thinking about what I was thinking or clearing my thoughts. When Asia, Akeno, and Kaneko helped me improve my thoughts and overcome my fear of being hurt again. The confrontation arrived, and I was more than willing to fight for her, except for Kiba. We were all there: Gasper, the new Rias Rosswise Towers, Zenobia, Kaneko, Asia, Akeno, and I as the team. The fights are summarized, until reaching the main one. When it was my turn to face each other, it was the worst of him and his king and the president, and I went. The fight was close. I was about to use the Juggernaut drive, but the children's alarm made me re-emerge, and I took out the queen armor, and with that I won, and I declared in public to my beloved Rias Gremory. After finishing, the Mao Ajuka arrived before us, giving us the news that he would soon be promoted to a middle-class demon, just like other companions, since the Mao Lucifer and various lords had disappeared without warning. That intrigued me a lot. While continuing with the festival, I invited some neighbors of mine, friends of mine since I was very young, just like my mother got together with her friends and their mother. And at night I confessed to Rias Gremory, and she accepted my feelings, and now I was her boyfriend. Not even 2 days passed before the lords sent for them. I don't know what will happen, but I'm ready for anything. Since I discovered the secret of the booster gear. And that will be Chapter 1: The Fight. Underworld Gremory Castle. There was a meeting, where matriarchs of the Gremory, Citri, Phoenix, Belial, Jaldabaoth clans and also the Himejima clan were present. Like the representatives of heaven in this case, Gabriel, the representative of the fallen angels, Penyamu, the representative of the yokais, Yasaka and her daughter Kunio, the representative of Olympus, Athena, Artemis and the goddess Aphrodite, the representatives of the Nordic faction Freya, a Valkyrie named Miriam, the representatives of the Nikomadas, the leader Magari, the mother of Kuroka and Kaneko Fujimai. The other leaders and maous had something to do, so it was just the Mao Leviathan. And I'm like Rias Gremory's pawn and the Red Emperor Dragon. We were at a round table, and on the other side were the lords of the houses, the Mao Lucifer, the Cadre Barakiel, the White Emperor Dragon, the Cursed Yakitori, Kiba, Saji the Vitra Dragon Bearer, and a woman with snow-white hair, correction is not Gondel, and are behind the others mentioned. The owner was tense. He knew this was very suspicious, and he knew they only wanted to talk to me. He had already prepared something. The secret of the booster gear, and he was ready to attack and carry it out. He just hoped that braggart Saji and Valley hadn't discovered it, or this would be a massacre. That's what I was thinking when Rias, so you brought us together, Oni-sama. Serafal, that's right, Otosan, Sershe-san, they want this meeting. Sershe, you see, we don't want to talk to you, but to the Red Emperor. Issei, tell me, Sir Sershe. Sershe, you want to join us? Issei, what? Sershe, as you heard, come with us and our leader. Kiba, if you come with us, if our leader, I will give you everything you want. As you said you want a harem, you can get it, right? Leader Jasmine Belger. Jasmine, that's right, come on Red Matchmaker, join us and you'll get everything you want. Issei, whatever you want, huh? Issei was absorbed by a purple and white aura. He began to faint, but the voice and memories of his mistress and the others asking him not to leave brought him back to reality. Issei, I will never join a group of people like you. Chestnut activated Drake's gauntlet. Jasmine, bring him in and kill him. Sershe, yes, leader. All the leaders went for Chestnut, shocking everyone else that they were rebelling. Issei, let's go Dryag. Drake, yes, partner, Mopliak. The Chestnut had multiplied, like when Naruto divides into shadow clones, only Issei are flesh and blood. The Issei launched themselves to attack the traitors, grabbing them and throwing them out the window, causing a huge crash, and before you even knew it, the Chestnuts threw the traitors through the skies, moving them a little away from the mansion. When they fell to the ground, the Chestnuts were ready. Also the others came out in shock and went to see if they could help the Chestnut, although of course it was a fight between them and him. Lord G, when you appeared you surprised us, that you didn't want to join. Of course loyalty to my daughter is great, but well, we will take advantage of those neighbors of yours and especially your succulent mother. Issei, damn. Sir Shay, you can't do anything now since we sent a friend to look for them and bring them back. Can you guess who it is? Valley, your father finally served a purpose. Issei was shocked that his own blood betrayed him and betrayed the trust of his wife and the mother of his child. Lord, yes. And you can't do anything. Issei, you are wrong. Betrayal, what did you say? Issei, I already knew you were up to something and I sent someone to my house. House of the Hujo. The chestnut's mother, and the chestnut's neighbors and friends cornered by the chestnut's father since he had obtained magical powers since he was a piece of Lord Gremory, more specifically 2 pawns of his entourage. Mickey, Goro, why are you doing this? Goro, don't get me wrong, but I already have another one that pleases me and she's younger than you and you guys who say you don't want to come with me, I'll take you anyway or not, look San. Look, we will never go with you, you damn bastard. Kasumi, true we will never leave. The 2 mothers protecting their 2 daughters begging for someone to come and save them and by the work of fate of a magic circle the chestnut appeared. Goro, wow, look how tense it is here with my son, the Revect who didn't want to join. Issei, yes, damn traitor, you revealed yourself with your own blood, I will not give you the easy way, I already know who you are, so do not tempt me. Goro, yes, I know that you are also the same as me, but let's put it to the test, or not Sekiryutai. Issei, as you wish, old fart, but I assure you it won't be pretty. The 2 of them started to fight. The series of combinations of blows left the father tired, who couldn't even keep up with the blow. And the final blows left the father stunned. Before either her mother or her neighbors could react, she took them to the underworld where her other selves were fighting with the other traitors. While the other Issei, transforming into the dragon armor containing the attack, so that his mother and the other girls would come. Sir Shay, come on Red Emperor, this is all you can do. Issei, I'm just waiting. When the other Issei came with his mother, and the others leaving them with Rias and the others. Mickey looked at her son in surprise and touched his face. Mickey, son, what's going on? Issei, I'll tell you later, Rias please take care of them, it's time for us curse to fall. Rias, yes. Leaving his mother and the others in the care of Rias, while one by one the Issei disappeared, leaving only one. Kiba, apparently that ability costs a lot of energy, or not. Issei, you're right, but I have something in store for you, his thoughts, I'll have to buy time for the ritual, Drag, can you hear me? Drag, yes, partner. Issei, start now with the ritual and preparation. Drag, are you sure you will die? Issei, yes, I know the consequences, but there is no other way, it has to be done or these bastards will get away with it. Drag, you're right, I'll start now. Issei, thanks, buddy. Issei still in armor thinks what he could do. Issei thoughts, I could transform into the queen armor, but they could easily defeat me, I will try with the strongest ones. Lord P, let's go Sekiryutai fight. Razor, if we go Sekiryutai fight. Issei, as you ask? Issei unleashed his power. Rias, perhaps it will be. Akeno, yes, it will be like that time. Issei, I think he will wake up. Issei, I am one of the 2 celestial dragons, who stole the principle of domination from God. Kaneko, no senpai, don't do it. Issei, I laugh at the infinity and worries of ephemeral dreams. Irina, don't do it, Issei-kun. Issei, I will become the red dragon of domination. Asia, Issei-san, don't do it. Issei, I will drown them in the depths of the crimson purgatory. Issei, Juggernaut Drive. Valley, it seems you can now control the power of the Juggernaut Drive, I will also demonstrate it to you. Valley, I, the one who will awaken, am one of the 2 celestial dragons, who lost everything at the beginning of domination, I envy the infinite and now the ephemeral dreams, I will be the white dragon that dominates the path of domination, I will take you to the furthest limits of innocence, Juggernaut Drive. Issei, now it's worth it, and you'll pay dearly for it. Come on, Drake. Drake, yes, partner. The clash between the two celestial dragons caused a huge explosion that sent both the traders and the girls away from the battlefield. The two celestial dragons were fighting equally. The white dragon was fighting to defeat the enemy. Change the Red Emperor was buying time for the power that would surpass the Juggernaut Drive, reaching the power of Great Red and surpassing the goddess of infinity Ophis. The fight was even when Valley, now if Issei Hiro you will die. Issei, I wouldn't count on that. Issei had deactivated the Juggernaut Drive to keep the balance breaker to become faster. Issei, now yes, Ascalon. Drake Blade. Vala, what? Issei Vala dies. Still in his armor, he stabbed Vala in the stomach with his sword. Vala Agdam. Issei, that's what happened to you for being a traitor, and now you will pay. Issei, I who am going to awaken, I am the red dragon who rejects the principle of domination, full of infinite hopes and dreams. I will walk the path of the king. I want to become the red dragon king. I promise everyone a future that shines with the true crimson light. Issei, Cardinal Crimson Promotion. The battle began. Between the leaders, the fight lasted quite a while, leaving both the chestnut and the tradors tired, leaving only one who was still giving the fight to the chestnut. Jasmine, come on dear Sir Issei, finish off that dragon. Sir Issei, as my lady orders. Issei, damn Sir Issei, you sold yourself and left your wife, you will pay dearly for the betrayal. Sir Issei, I don't care. Ask if they want this militia or not. Sir Issei, you better take this. The Siscon threw a ball of destruction at him that destroyed part of the chestnut's armor. While the others recovered with Phoenix's tears, the chestnut was already very tired. He would have to capture the power no matter what. Issei, Agdam, Drake is ready. Drake, ready buddy, just have to get them away for a moment. Issei, okay, eat this, Crimson Blaster. Drake, Fong Blast Booster. The chestnut threw a powerful lightning bolt that threw the traders several meters. Issei, let's go Drake. Drake, yes, partner. Issei, I the one who awakened the hidden power, an indomitable power that I will protect. Love will reign and live in me. Love will help prove the power. Like the Red Emperor Dragon, I will conquer my enemies. My strength will be invincible. Whose destructive roar will reach the heavens, and my heart is full like a lake with the thirst to conquer. I will take my body to the limit, all for the crimson light, which will expand, and I will raise my roar to the sky and awaken the forbidden seal of the Securudii. Saying the last words, the chestnut began to awaken the power hidden around him. A magical capo of great potential was formed that destroyed everything around it, destroying all his shirts. Apart from that, the chestnut screamed to the sky like a roar that made the earth tremble, while on his back the logo of the Securudii appeared with fire. From there everything began to change. The chestnut began to transform into a dragon. His body was covered with red scales, a tail formed from his back and a pair of wings emerged from it. His face began to change into the shape of a reptile, his eyes slanted like a reptile, fangs protruded from his mouth, until his entire body became like a dragon. Issei Drag, so this is the hidden power, yes. Albio, or it doesn't seem like the Drake Bearer awakened the seal. Vala, what and why didn't you tell me that? Albio, why is it suicide? Do it. Many have tried and no one has managed to obtain or withstand the power. It is the first time I have seen his power. Vala, will we be able to defeat him? Albio, I don't believe in that transformation. Weapons, you're still wounded by Ascalon. Valley, we'll still defeat him, let's go. They, yes. Issei Drag, come for me. The traders launched themselves, already recovered, to the attack with the chestnut already transformed into a dragon. With his wings he rose in the sky, and then the chestnut threw balls of fire that impacted with the leaders, leaving them quite wounded. He attacked them with magic, and Kiba's swords did not even scratch the body of Issei, who with a couple of his blows sent seriously wounded both Kiba and Saji, who stopped wounded by a strong impact from the chestnut. The Citri leader's water attacks were able to scratch him a bit, but he couldn't resist the power of the dragon's flames. leaving him quite injured. The other house leaders couldn't even fight the dragon's enormous power. One by one they fell to the dragon's power. The Lord Phoenix and Razor didn't even tickle the dragon with their weak calls. Issei drag, those weak flames will never hurt me, worse this would burn them alive, the fire of hell. He threw a flame at the bearers of the fire of the immortal bird who could not resist the fire of hell and were all burned. Betrayal, with lightning and spears of light, through the chestnut tree, which grazed him quite seriously. But what Betrayal didn't know was that from the clouds a great lightning bolt summoned by the dragon electrocuted him, leaving him unconscious. Not even the powers of Zutikos could harm them. The only ones who hurt him were Issei and Valley. His destruction balls were hurting him but not enough to defeat him. A powerful flame came out of the chestnut's mouth, almost burning the maous Lucifer alive. The last one left was Vala, who with the juggernaut drive, leaving him with some powerful damage, and using divine dividing managed to lower his power. He couldn't stand it when with a single blow he broke the armor, and from his mouth came a flame that almost killed the silver-haired man. Issei drag, and that's your name, grandson of Lucifer, the most powerful white dragon. It doesn't surprise me, Gruer. He threw another fireball at him, but the one who got in the way was Bequa, taking all the damage. When the chestnut spoke, Issei drag, the Gremry, Citri, Phoenix, Belial, Jaldabaoth territories and also the Himajima clan will be under my protection. I hope they don't come back, or I swear I will take them to a torture they will wish they were dead or not mess with the territory and family of a dragon. Issei, we'll see about that. Jasmine, we'd better go, Bequa. Bequa, yes, my lady. Son Goku's descendant took the traitors elsewhere through the dimensional gap. The chestnut roared at the sky of the underworld while still flying when his strength and everything else could no longer hold up, and he began to descend at speed towards the ground while he was transforming into his original body. The excess energy killed him completely and wore him down, while he fell since they were far from where the girls were. Dryag react, mate react? Falling at great speed, the only thing he could do was use the chestnut's dragon wings to protect himself from the impact that the girls wouldn't reach in time. And it is true that they did not arrive on time when the chestnut crashed to the ground, leaving a crack when the girls went to pick it up, and also that the other leaders arrived since they had been warned. Rias, Issei, wake up, please don't leave me. Asia, Issei-kun, please don't die. The redhead had the unconscious and bloody body of the brunette on her lap. Azazel, what happened here? Akeno, the house leaders betrayed us, just like Dad and the members of the entourages, Gasper not included, for a woman named Jasmine. Odin, come on, let's take the boy somewhere else to see if he can recover properly. Miguel, you're right, then we have to listen carefully to what happened. The leaders help lift the chestnut tree's body and take it to a safe place. Chapter 2, Explanation of the Traitors Part 1. After the fight of the traitors against Issei, the faction leaders, Odin and Gondel, Azazel, Michael, Zeus and Possessed, and the Maous, Ajuka, Falbium, and Seraphal, were present, as were the other girls, leaders, retinues, and the chestnut's mother and neighbors. Chestnut was lying in bed with his dragon arm exposed. The one who was most distressed was the chestnut-haired boy's mother, and from one moment to the next she discovered that her husband had cheated on her. After her son saved them and took them to another world by magic, she saw him fight against other people. After her son had turned into a dragon, and the last thing was that he was lying in bed, and suddenly other people arrived through some portals. Mickey, can you explain to me what's going on? Rias, Oka-san, please calm down. Mickey, how do you expect me to calm down, Rias-chan? A lot of things have happened to me that I don't even know how to explain. Rias, I understand, but let us explain. Mickey, explain to me what? Look, we also want explanations. Odin, ladies, I understand, but what the girl means is that her son entered the supernatural world. The mother, like the others, was speechless by such events when she spoke again. Odin, you'd better have the girl explain it to you. Rias, thanks Odin-sama. Oka-san, girls, I know you are confused, but what Odin-sama says is true. His son entered the supernatural world. Mickey, seriously, are you laughing, Chan? Rias, that's right, look. The brown-haired girls showed their demon, fallen angel and angel wings as well as yokai traits. Mickey, so you are. Rias, that's right, we are demons, fallen angels, angels and yokais, and we are the girls of the Securudii. Mickey was shocked by what she had seen and heard, but the word that surprised her was the Securudii that it meant. Mickey, and why do they call my son Securudii? Asia, why the possessor of a sacred gear. Nina won that. Akeno, these are powers granted to some humans. It is believed that several important people throughout history have possessed these powers. Rias, and sometimes they get powers great enough to defeat angels and demons like you. Sayuri, then him. Rias, that's right, Issei has a sacred gear and it's not just any sacred grad, it's not only a twice critical, it can increase the powers of its bearer immeasurably for 10 seconds, to the point of even destroying a god. It's one of the 13 Longinus gear, the Scarlet Imparter's Glove, boosted gear. Seraphal, and that's why he is called the Securudii. Mickey, I understand and how my son became the Securudii and a demon. Rias, you see. Rias told the chestnut mother how she had died at the hands of Reincarnation, how she revived him as a demon, as well as how she saved her from her forced marriage to the Phoenix, also how they got along with her other pieces, the defeat of Kokabeel. She also told her how she faced her rival the White Emperor Dragon, how she also defeated a Norse god and the departure and rescue of the Nikomata clan, also how she saved Asia from the clutches of Diodora and how she bravely faced the land of yokai saving the leader from the hands of Chow Chow and how she won the ranting game against her cousin and her public confession, and after that each girl introduced herself with her name and what faction she belonged to. Mickey, so my son did all that. Rias, that's right. Odin, since you've finished explaining everything to the lady, we want to know what happened between the boy and the leaders and how he managed to defeat him. Rias, we don't know very well what happened, we were only warned that they wanted to talk to us. We went to the meeting, the leaders were there, Kiba, Saji, Vala and a white-haired woman. When they said they wanted to talk to Issei, when he said yes he wanted to join them, we didn't understand anything of what happened. Then only a purple light surrounded him and then he disappeared. They attacked him when he divided into several Issei, bringing his mother and friends. When he became the Juggernaut Drive he attacked the rest and the fight was when a flame covered him and unleashed a great power. The Securudii logo appeared on his back and he turned into a dragon after they disappeared, and we didn't know more about them when the one who gives like that. Sona, and we don't know how she transformed into a dragon. Drake, I can explain that. The dragon spoke the dragon arm. Michael, Securudii, can you tell us what's going on? Drake, yes, leader of heaven, my partner became the hidden power of the sacred gear. Azazel, yes, I have heard of that power but I didn't think anyone would ever use it or even recite it. Drake, well, it seems my partner used it, and has become the first bearer to use the forbidden seal of the Securudii. Rias, forbidden seal of the Securudii, could Drake-sama explain what that is? Drake, it is a seal that God made when he sealed the sacred gear where he retained the body and blood of my old body and when prescribing the spell it would bring out my body at its best fusing with the bearer granting him my strength, my power and my body, but no one in the history of the bearers, not even Belzerd, could resist it completely. Akeno, Belzerd? Odin, the strongest Red Emperor, not even he could, apparently the brat has potential. Drake, that's right. Lord Odin, my companion was able to achieve that which no one in history ever could, not even the bearer of the white could do. Michael, so? Drake, my partner has become the strongest Red Emperor wielder that has ever existed. Odin, but the question we had is why they betrayed us and how did he know about the betrayal and why he didn't go with them. Drake, first the one about the betrayal. Well, my partner knew that the Gremry Knight and the Citri Pawn were meeting with the white in secret. My partner followed them and knew that they were going to do something but we didn't know anything else because they left. Rias, then he knew about the betrayal. Drake, that's right, and that's why he was training in secret to be able to release the forbidden seal. I didn't trust that he would release such power but something inside him made him able to release it. Akeno, something? Drake, yes, I don't know, my partner, since that time, put in a dedication to training that I hadn't seen before. Even his attitude changed, but there is something inside the boy that seems familiar to me. Susaku, known as Drake-sama. Drake, the boy's essence reminded me of a presence similar to his, but for a long time, I thought it was just a coincidence. But no, I always wondered why he behaved like that. Odin, and then. Drake, sorry, I went off topic. Secondly, it's the same as when I explained that I watched the traders' meetings, and that's why I started training to be able to protect them. Rias, really? Drake, seriously, I warned him it was suicide, but he didn't listen. Flashback. There was a chestnut tree training in a gym inside the house, hitting a punching bag. The brown-haired man's mind was filled with doubts as to whether he would become stronger. But there was one image that totally killed it. The image was of the prisoner girls with traces of white liquid being with two blondes and a white-haired man in a bed. Vala, you see, my dear Rias, he wasn't as strong as me and he wouldn't even please you like I do. The girl didn't even speak. Kiba, right, Gabriel, look, he couldn't even protect the girls in his harem. Saji, yes, sweet Asia corrupted by me, a true dragon or not security. He was tied up and strapped down watching the traders buck the girls. He couldn't resist and knocked down the sandbag. Drake, mate, are you okay? Issei, yes, I am fine. Drake, he's already released a lot of that night. Issei, yes, I know, but I don't care. If I believe what I believe it is, I will not allow those traitors to get away with it and hurt my girls. Drake, it seems you're already protecting your females. Issei, what are you saying? All blushed and nervous. Drake, don't act like it. I know perfectly well that you're falling in love with all of them, and that's why you said my girls. It seems that dragon side of you is already coming out. Issei, why would I deny it? If I believe that I am in love, that's why I want to take out that power. Drake, but that's suicide. Issei, yes, I know, but I will accept the risk. I won't let that happen, Drake. If I have to give my life to protect them, I will. And he kept hanging another sack. End of flashback. Drake, and that's what happened, he would accept his death in order to protect them. Everyone in the room blushed as they heard those words, knowing that Chestnut was in love with him. When suddenly a presence appeared in the room that surprised many. In the room appeared none other than Ophis, the Dragon of Infinity, Tiamat, the Queen of Chaos, Milet, Queen Dragon of Water, and a Kali Dragon of Spirits. I don't know, I imagine these names for the dragons and titles. Appearance of Tiamat. Milet appearance. Akali's appearance. Azazel, what is Ophis doing here? Ophis, I just came to see how Issei-kun was. Tiamat, what happened to Issei-kun? Azazel, the leaders of the underworld and the Mao Lucifer betrayed us and he confronted us, awakening the forbidden seal of the security. Tiamat, so that was it, and of course it had to do with Drake. Milet, and what happened? Odin, apparently the brat ran out of energy and strength and was left in a temporary coma. Drake, you're right, but what doesn't convince me is what I just told you. Azazel, about that coincidence or not? Drake, exactly, excuse me, Mrs. Mickey. Mickey, yes, Sir Security. Drake, by chance, my partner had or has a relative who looks like him, who was not from the trader's family. Mickey, what do you mean by that? Drake, why do I feel like both you and my partner have a certain overlap with someone I knew a while ago? Mickey, I don't know if it works, but Issei's grandmother, that is, my mother, just as long as she is my father. Drake, and his grandmother is still alive. Mickey, yes, he is in his hometown, still in the house where they both lived. Drake, and it will be possible for me to bring her. Mickey, maybe yes, as long as he accepts. Rias, we can go to bring her. Mickey, it's okay, but let's go only a few so we don't scare her. Rias, okay, just us. Mickey, and how will we go? Rias, we will go the same way as when your son brought her. Rias invoked a magic circle. Rias, come on Oka-san, let's go get my Issei's grandmother. The girls from the Gremmy group along with the Chestnut's mother left. Odin, I'll go for someone too, maybe he'd be happy to hear about his future son-in-law. Odin had left and the others were left with Drake and the other girls comforting and explaining to the neighbors. Meanwhile, on another side of the porch, in an antique Japanese-style cabin, on a table chair, sat a 60-year-old woman with a blanket on her legs, her hair dyed snow-white, age having taken its toll, and in her hands a necklace, a pendant with a photograph of two young people. Out of nowhere a red light appeared on the ground and the Gremry group and the brown-haired boy's mother came out of it. The old woman didn't even flinch, she just saw her daughter who was accompanied by beautiful young women. The name of that old woman was Mari. When the chestnut approached. Mickey, hello, okay. Chapter 3, Getting to know Chestnut's past and getting to know his. Inside an old Japanese-style hut room in a small hall were the Gremry entourage, the chestnut's mother. While an old woman had a cup of tea. Mari, and tell me, daughter, why are you here and why are these beautiful girls accompanying you? Mickey, Okasan, we have something to talk to you about. Mari, about what? Mickey, about Issei. Mari worriedly told her daughter. Mari, what happened? Mickey, I don't know how to explain it better than Rias-chan explaining it to you. Rias, nice to meet you, Issei's grandmother. Mari, and what is your name, young lady? Rias, sorry, where are my manners? I am Rias Gremry, and your grandson's girlfriend. Mari, it seems my grandson has already found a beautiful girlfriend, I feel so proud that they want to talk to me. Rias, as Oka-san said, it's about her son, but we can talk about it elsewhere. Mari, somewhere else. Rias, yes, just come with us and we'll go. All the girls left, but something they didn't tell you was that coming out of the chestnut-haired grandmother's house, walking nearby was an older woman, and a certain redhead looked very noticeable. Rias Obasan. Chaisis, Rias-chan, what are you doing here? Rias, and I just came to bring Issei's grandmother. Chaisis, Issei's grandmother? Rias, yes, from my Issei, my boyfriend. Chaisis, it seems you already got a boyfriend and how he treats you. Rias, well, he's the best in the world, I feel like I can be at peace with him. But changing the subject, why are you here? Chaisis, spending my life and enjoying this beautiful town, and if I accompany you I want to see my granddaughter's fiancé, or excuse me, where my manners are. I am Chaisis Gremry, Rias's grandmother. They all greeted each other and introduced themselves. Rias, it would be better if we went to Drake to explain to us what he wants with Issei's grandmother. Mari, and how will we leave? Rias, we will explain it to you later. Rias opened a magic circle and they all went to the underworld to the Gremry castle. They arrived at the room where the chestnut-haired man's lifeless body lay, all bruised, injured, and with cuts caused in the confrontation. When the two arrived, the ones who were surprised were Issei's grandmother and Rias's grandmother. Mari, my grandson, what happened to you? He approached the bed where his grandson's body lay while Chaisis asked his granddaughter for explanations. Chaisis, Rias, what happened? Why is he like this, and Valana, where are Zeoticus and Sir Issei? Rias, you see, Oba-san, they betrayed us. Chaisis, what? Rias, they along with the other house leaders and male members of my entourage minus Gasper, and my friend Sona's pawn betrayed us, and he confronted them, almost dying to awaken a power to protect us. Chaisis, I understand, now the question is, why did they bring your grandmother? Drake, it's because he has an essence that seems somewhat familiar to me, but... I had barely finished speaking when Odin, Thor and Gondel, Rosswise's grandmother, appeared from a magic circle of the Nordic faction. Ross, I'll abbreviate it, Oba-san, what are you doing here? Gondel, hi Ross-chan, how have you been? I just found out you already have a boyfriend. Ross, what do you say, Oba-san? Gondel, let me find out you're dating the Sekiryutai. Ross, and how do you know that, and how did you get here? Odin, easy, I brought her to help with the brat's rehabilitation. Gondel, and also because I wanted to meet my granddaughter's boyfriend. Drake, well, since all the people who have to do with my partner are here, I want to know if his grandmother is there. Mari, here I am Issei Hujo's grandmother, and who are you? Drake, my lady, my name is the Red Emperor Dragon, or better called the Security, and well, Mrs. Mickey and Mari, could you tell me about Grandpa? Mari, Jizu. Drake, that was his name, could you tell us what he was like and how you met? Mari, okay, but we're all going to listen. Odin, excuse me, I have to go. Michael, me too. Azazel, me too. Zeus, me too. Poseidon, me too. The leaders left, leaving only the ladies and other people from the different girls' factions. Drake, and well. Mari, I don't know where to start. Drake, what was he like? Mari, well, he was very affectionate, loving, protective. You felt that when you were in his arms, you felt all protected and loved. Mari, exactly, but well, he always tried hard to make sure I was okay. He always looked for the best, although what was characteristic of him was that he was very perverted. Drake, now I know where you got it from. Rias, family property. Mari, well, apart from being perverted, he was a good man who fought for me. Drake, and keep some memory of him. Mari, yes. On a heart-shaped pendant was a photo of the two of them young. Imagine it with some old photos of two chestnut trees. Drake, so it is him. Mari, you met my husband. Drake, yes, but I'd better go on and I'll tell you later. Mari, okay, well, that was what characterized my husband. When we were young, I don't know why, but despite the fact that he was perverted, and I wasn't attractive, I didn't have many attributes in my favor like other girls. I didn't have a very good front, or I didn't have a good rear. I was more or less flat, like some of you. Both the girls from the group Citri, Phoenix and Kaneko felt identified. Mari, but he always said that for him I was the most beautiful thing that had ever happened to him, that I always had something that drove him crazy. Kaneko, really? Mari, yes, he always told me that it didn't matter if I had a front or a back end or not, that what mattered to him was what I showed him. Rias, that he showed her. Mari, my feelings and actions towards him. He always hugged me and told me that he loves me very much and that he would be capable of giving his life for me, fighting for me just to keep my smile and my love. All the girls, plus those from the Gremry group, some more, and the dragons felt like memories of them came back with the brown-haired boy who always protected them in any way, and more the recent moment that happened. Mari, apart from the fact that there were many who came to bother me or tried to hurt me, he always defended me. I always stopped him by healing his wounds caused by saving me, and more his fists. Those bloody fists from so much fighting. I always told him not to hurt himself. But he always told me that when I was by his side nothing and no one could hurt him, and that he didn't feel pain. The girls were increasingly surprised at how much Chestnut looked like his grandfather. Mari, that was when I was 16 and he was 15. We always loved each other in different ways. I always spoiled him. Sometimes I fed him. That made him nervous, and I liked that part of him. Also, what he always asked me was to lie on my legs. He always told me that it was his favorite pillow, and when he fell asleep on my legs. I always thought while I caressed his hair, how could I have a boyfriend so cute, tender, protective, loving, and that he loves me as I am, not because of my physique, and there were many more girls with more attributes than me and the pretty ones. But why did he choose me? That made each girl question and doubt why he was with them. Some already knew why, but wanted to know more deeply what he felt for them. Mari, then I found out something that almost destroyed me, or well, it made me really angry, that someone came before me. Asia, whine. Mari, yes, at that time I heard the murmurs he said while he was lying on my legs that a girl came. She had won me over in every way. She was more beautiful, she was classy, she had a perfect and enviable body. She had fallen in love with my Jizu before, and she only played with him, with his feelings. She destroyed that pure heart that he had. Everyone, absolutely everyone, knew the problem that Chestnut had, that the damned fallen angel caused and left a scar and pain inside the Chestnut's heart. Mari, as his current girlfriend, I confronted him. Flashback. There were 2 chestnut trees in a big tree where the chestnut tree asked that chestnut tree, Jizu, you want to know my life? Mari, who was that girl who hurt you? Jizu, I don't know what you're talking about. Mari, don't lie to me. I know you very well. I know you had a romance that went very badly. He didn't say anything, he just remained silent, but his actions showed that he was furious. His hands were clenched over his eyes, tears sprang out and fell to the ground. The brown-haired man couldn't stand the pain any longer and fell to his knees. Juzu, it's true, sniff, she played with me, sniff. I don't know what to do, sniff, that pain still persists, sniff, I don't know. The chestnut fell silent when he felt his head rest on the girl's shoulder, while delicate hands ran over his neck and head. Mari, thank you for trusting me. I know you've done a lot for me. I don't know what that damn thing did, but I assure you that I won't do the same. I will protect you and promise that I will rebuild your heart. The chestnut's words calmed his suffering. He could have been a strong fighter, a warrior, a man who didn't fear death, someone who fought for her and felt the pain. But inside all that armor of courage inside him was a fragile heart, and almost fainting, he needed someone who could rebuild the heart of that young man. End of flashback. Mari. He was always there with me through thick and thin. I always watched him fight for me, and I had to give him back some of that love by rebuilding his heart little by little. I felt that every time that cold, iron heart began to warm up and beat faster, that was my duty as his girlfriend. For all of these reasons, this was a key to deepening their relationship with the chestnut, just as the other girls in the Citri and Phoenix entourage could use this as a key to enter the chestnut's heart. Akeno and Mrs. Mari. Mari, call me Obasin. Akeno, I understand Obasin, we already know how she met Ayase-kun's grandfather, but I wanted to know if she ever had a moment where she had to decide whether to be with him or not. Mari, what do you mean by that? Akeno, if she ever had a moment of doubt, or if she ever thought of betraying him. Mari, and why the question? Akeno, it's because of what happened just now, and it may be that one can distrust one's own feelings from what one fears for him. Mari, yes, that's right, I had a moment that I was about to lose. Akeno, really? Mari, yes, you were already dating for quite some time. My body developed over time, and at the age of 18 I was already considered one of the most beautiful girls where I studied, and several guys were after me. Yes, I felt somewhat flattered after so much time of rejection. Although he was always very possessive and territorial with me, and I appreciated it, but sometimes it did make me angry. Asia, and what happened? Mari, well, once I got really angry and… Flashback. In a field there were two people arguing, two chestnut trees. Mari, I already told you, Juzu, stop being jealous of me all the time. Juzu, but I don't want to lose you, you know I couldn't live without you. Mari, yes, but now I want to be with my friends more, go out, and not be so oppressed by you. Now that I'm popular, I want to enjoy it, but with you like this, I won't be able to. Juzu, but… Mari, no buts, you know, it's better if we give ourselves some time. The chestnut left, leaving the chestnut tree sad in front of that tree. End of flashback. Kuroka, and why did you say that, Naya? Mari, I don't know, feeling so popular with people after several years, being so indifferent that they won't even notice you, blinded me, and also because some pretty athletic, muscular boys were flirting with me, seducing me, and I asked why he wasn't so daring with me, because he didn't want me like they did. Irina, and what happened? Mari, blinded by everything that happened, I went to lose myself somewhere when I found my friends just like me, beautiful blondes, with some athletic guys, who invited me to spend time with them. Flashback. A brunette was sitting on a bench when a group of boys and girls saw her and approached her. Hey friend, why are you so alone and that idiot isn't with you? Mari, I got tired of it and left it. I already knew that loser wouldn't please you, come with me doll, let's have fun. Mari, let's go. The brunette went with them while they were chatting with the boys. The guy began to caress the brunettes, but squeezing it with lust. Hey, what if we go somewhere else so you and I can have more intimate fun? Mari, I don't know. I bet that pervert won't please you like I will. I'll make you see the heavens. Mari, yes, I know you could. Blinded by lust, she was about to take that step when she reached a corner and saw a place in front of her that filled her with such nostalgic memories. That place was an ice cream parlor and also a toy store, that corner where that flat and shy girl met that chestnut. Flashback. There was a shy, flat-chested brunette girl standing in a corner being bothered by some dark-skinned guys. Come on, don't go away, let's enjoy it. Yes, little one, we're going to do 1,001 things with Taiga whether you like it or not. Grabbing the chestnut by the arm. Mari, I already told you no. Come join us. Jizu, don't listen, he told you no. A chestnut tree had arrived at that corner, and had taken the guy's grip off the chestnut. Stay away, this is none of your business. If it's not convenient for you to be here. Jizu, you think so, hey girl? Mari, yes. Jizu, could you stop my backpack and stand behind me, why? Chestnut began to fight those guys. He received several serious blows, but he was better off than them who were quite hurt, while she just watched as they left while he stayed sitting outside that ice cream shop. Mari, thank you for defending me. Jizu, I couldn't let them bother a girl as cute and beautiful as you. Something that made the chestnut fall in love. Jizu, if you want, let's have some ice cream so I can get to know you better. Mari, it's okay. The two of them went to the table outside and ate. From then on she stayed by his side, and she always said she would be by his side. End of flashback. What's wrong? Are we going or not, little one? Mari, not me. No that. Mari, no, I can't go. The chestnut ran away without knowing where to go. After running so much, he found something in one place that confirmed what he felt for the chestnut. That chestnut tree was fighting for that love that was about to fail. There's no point in fighting for someone who doesn't love you anymore. Possibly with someone else. Maybe he'll just use you, maybe he'll have sex with me after killing you. Jizu, I won't allow you to insult her, over my dead body. We'll see. Those guys had knives. Chestnut received several of my cuts after Chestnut just watched helplessly when one of the guys plunged the knife into his chest. He only let out a cry of pain when he broke the knife. The guys ran away and the brunette also went out to look for them. The chestnut tree searched and searched for her beloved, finally arriving at the chestnut tree's house where the one who stole her heart was and was about to betray him. There he was on the edge of his house with a bottle of alcohol and bandages healing himself, instead of her healing him with her own hands. While he killed the pain with alcohol, with his kisses that relieved that pain. Those rough hands caused more pain than their delicate hands passing over his wounds. The pain was more bearable than the wound in his broken heart. He saw how that lion was wounded not only physically but also emotionally. That man who promised to rebuild her heart was overshadowed even more by her. She couldn't resist any longer, and went with him. Jizu, what are you doing here? I thought you wanted to have some time. My back turned its back on him. Mari, I don't need more time, forgive me. I don't know what changed me. I wasn't like this. I know that by your side I spent the happiest moments of my life. I know that you have sacrificed yourself for me and I don't intend to break that promise I made you that time. Jizu, but why were you so relaxed about me? I always looked for the best for you and suddenly you rejected me. Mari, it's just that life played a bad trick on me, leading me to that bad reputation and joining those people who only looked for me right now and not when I was a nobody. And I understood. She came around behind me, pressing her chest against him and running her hands over the warrior's chest, when I really had to be with the man who loved me since we met at that ice cream parlor. Do you remember, right? Jizu thought about that time, the first time he met the light of his life, the most beautiful rose in the garden, the most beautiful woman he knew or well. She was the most beautiful to him. Jizu, of course, I remember my beautiful angelic rose. Mari, look, no one can separate us, I promise you, from now until we're both old, and we watch our grandchildren play. End of flashback. Mari, from that moment on, I will not separate from him until the day of his death. Mickey, I didn't know that. Mari, of course not, just like other things your father did for me. Rias, then she was about to deceive him, but those memories made her reconsider. Mari, yes, girl, they are those places that fill you with memories, the most beautiful ones, the ones you treasure for a lifetime. Each one knew that those memories with Chestnut would be treasured for all eternity. Rias, and Oba-san, it would be that you could give us advice on how you know. Mari, yes. Rias, trying to be perfect for him. Mari, so what you want to know is how to reach my grandson's heart, or should I avoid it? They all nodded. Grandma just gave a little chuckle. Mari, it seems that you are exactly like your grandfather Issei, as the saying goes, like father, like son. But in Issei's subconscious, there was a chestnut with a torn armor of the security. It would be more like the balance breaker. Issei, what am I doing here? Apparently you will begin to see your origins, or not, my perverted eagle. Issei, only one person called me that. Yes, I know. Issei, grandfather. Chapter 4, Help from Beyond. The chestnut was half asleep as if in a trance. He was only breathing and his body was inert due to his great effort, and he was losing energy in Issei's subconscious. He was wearing his torn security armor, more like the balance breaker. Then meeting someone who filled him with mixed emotions. Apparently you will begin to see your origins, or not, my perverted eagle. Issei, only one person called me that. Yes, I know. Issei, grandpa, it's you. Jiuzu, yes, come and give your grandfather a hug. Chestnut didn't waste any time and gave his grandfather a hug, both of them shedding tears. Jiuzu, now my Gable, calm down now. Issei, it's been years since I hugged you when you were with me. Jiuzu, yes, I know that my departure here was more than inevitable, since because of what we are, sooner or later we will greet our friend death, or not. Issei, yes, I know, like you always told me. Both of us, we are just shadows and sand. Jiuzu, that's right, my grandson, we mortals are shadows and sand. Issei, yes, I know. Jiuzu, and now tell me why you are here, and I know that you are no longer human, or yes. Issei, nothing can be hidden from you, right? Jiuzu, you know you don't. Issei, yes, I know, and your appearance no longer resembles when I leave you or not. Jiuzu, this is where I returned when I was young and was a fearsome warrior. Appearance of Issei's grandfather. Issei, yes, I know, sometimes they told me that it was your reflection from when you were young. Jiuzu, yes, but well, tell me now what happened to you. Issei, well. Issei told his grandfather when his girlfriend, the fallen angel, killed him, then he was reincarnated as a demon by a beautiful girl, with blood-red hair who was his girlfriend, after meeting a blonde nun girl, after going to rescue her, and his beloved turned her into a demon. After many things, he had a confrontation with his ex-fiancée who was in his language a rich and powerful boy, but first he had to lose. At night he lamented that his beautiful eyes burst into tears. The traitor's ex-wife came to tell him to crash the wedding. Do not hesitate, I went to the wedding. And I made it clear that he would not mess with him again, and how he took his girlfriend from there and stayed at his house. Also that after other events like his girlfriend he was very attached to him, and how he faced the leader of the fallen angels. He met a childhood friend, after seeing his rival. After meeting his fiancée's bishop who was somewhat shy, then came the meeting of the factions. There it was revealed that his rival was the grandson of the original Lucifer. The two of us faced each other and the battle was even. After that he told him how he found out that a clan that was extinct was not, making his Kohai's sister and his Kohai reconcile, in addition to the fact that they found his mother alive. But not everything was happiness. The clan was attacked by those of his own species. I faced the traitors. I also explained to him that the only one who could almost defeat him was the leader, and that left him one day without being able to do anything, since his body did not react. After that, there was a meeting of leaders with the leader of the Nordic faction, and Loki appeared, where he told him that they went to fight against him, and he almost died if it weren't for a gift from a girl. After some events he told her that he faced him because God put a curse on him, and after rescuing her we went on a school trip to Kyoto where the leader of the Yasaka faction was kidnapped. We went to rescue her, but not before meeting her daughter who asked me to rescue her, and I accepted. I went, and we rescued them along with the girls. He also told her that when he left that place the leader had kissed him as a thank you. After he couldn't confess his feelings to his girlfriend, he had a confrontation with her cousin, where he confessed in public. After the Mao-Ajuka came to inform him that he was going to be promoted to a middle-class devil and that the Mao Lucifer was not there. I told him that his suspicions could be true, he was going to see treason. After he confessed to his girlfriend and she said yes, we were informed that the leaders of several clans were not calling. That was confirming to me what was happening. Then I told him that he and the girls and several matriarchs were present when they told him to join them with that woman, but he said no when they revealed themselves. And I tell him that that wasn't what surprised him most, it was that his father's traitor was going after his mother and neighbors so they would know what they were going to do. That angered him quite a bit. After a few battles, he became a very powerful armor of his sacred gear, after the hidden power. I told him that he had awakened and endured that power, and with that power he beat all the traitors, although that left him in this state. Issei, well, Grandpa, that's my story. Juzu, apparently that Goro had the courage to betray my daughter. What would he have done if he were alive? But instead you did the right thing. Issei, yes, I know. Juzu, ha, everything you experienced surprised me, although what happened to the Reincarnation girl was normal for it to happen to you. Issei, yes, I knew it, and I knew what I was up against, but I never thought he was a fallen angel and would kill me. Juzu, yes, but thanks to all of her, are you here or not? Issei, yes, I know, remembering everything that happened until now. Juzu, yes, and you have already fallen in love with several girls from various factions. That is my grandson. Issei, Grandpa, please don't say that, maybe it's not true. Juzu, of course it's true, they love you. I know that everything you did for them is because you feel affection for them and not just because of what our blood dictates. Issei, at first, I didn't know why every time I was with them, the same feeling appeared, and when I faced enemies there was always that voice telling me to protect them and kill them or destroy them, and that gave me more power. Juzu, yes, it is normal, that voice tells you and that feeling appears. Issei, why do you say that, Grandpa? Juzu, they said that voice was from the young man where it all began. Issei, yes, sometimes I thought about it, but when those memories appeared, they tormented me inside and that's why I felt scared. Juzu, that's normal, my eagle, I also went through the same thing, but your grandmother came into my life and she was my pillar in my life, although we had ups and downs, but she was always there, until that day, so I tell you that they will be that pillar in your life and also that you fulfilled the dream of the harem, well for you. Issei, yes, and as you taught me, Grandpa, epee are everything. Juzu, same pose, yes, the epees are everything. Outside Issei's subconscious. There were Issei's grandmother, and his mother and Rias's grandmother, and Roswise on one side, and in front were all those who were going to be or are females of the Security. They were all eager to receive information so they could be closer to the chestnut tree. Mari, and what do you want to know? Rias, if you could give us some advice on how to make your grandson fall in love with you more. Mari, what they want to know is how to have my grandson at their feet or not. Akeno, you can do that. Mari, hee hee, the grandmother laughed with her hand covering her mouth, looking like an elegant lady, if possible, have the man you love at your feet. Everyone was surprised by what Grandma said and wondered if it was true that Issei fell at her feet completely. Rias, so Obasan, how do you do that? What would the tricks be? Mari, there are no tricks, it's just about knowing the person and knowing their weaknesses. Irina, weak points. Mari, oops, it slipped out, better not say anything. All, no, please continue. Mari, they don't deserve it. They were all depressed. When Grandma said? Mari. They all saw Grandma again. Mari, okay, I'll tell you what it means, but first tell me if you know what I'm referring to or what it is. They all shook their heads, even the leaders and mothers of the girls who were present. Mari, well then I'll explain, the weak points are those places where the boy is in nervous mode. Asia, like nervous. Mari, nervous, I mean that when a girl approaches him and lightly touches those spots, it makes the guy's legs tremble. Or even if they know the exact combination, his legs might not hold, and he falls right into her arms. Now if you understand what I mean. They all nodded, now they knew how to make Chestnut fall at their feet. Rias, and what would those points be? Mari, if I'm correct and if he's anything like my husband, I think I know what those points are. At this point Issei's grandmother, his own grandmother, was advising him, what am I saying, advising him, selling the chestnut to all those women, that's how his grandmother expressed it. Mari, forgive me, Issei, but I can't stand being alone anymore without someone to care for, and it took you a while to get a girlfriend, so I hope you give me great-grandchildren. And so does his mother. Mickey, apparently, mother is already giving advice to the girls. Now more than ever after the betrayal I need to take care of something, and what better than taking care of my grandchildren? I hope you give it to me soon. Now he looks at the unconscious brown-haired boy, but a chill runs through his inert body that reaches his mind where he was with his grandfather. Mind of Issei. He was talking when he felt the chill. Issei, Grandpa, you felt that. Juzu, feel that. Issei, I don't know why, but I felt a really bad chill. Juzu, no why, but that feeling seems familiar to me. Issei, why do you say that, Grandpa? Juzu, for nothing in his mind. I hope it's not what I'm thinking, but poor my eagle, everything that awaits him and his body. I don't think he can resist. Issei, well, tell me, Grandpa, let's continue with what we talked about. Juzu, yes, well, Issei, you know that you are ready to assume your power and knowledge of your blood. Issei, seriously, Grandpa, I'm ready. Juzu, yes, I know you're ready, and you know that at this age my father, that is, your great-grandfather, taught me everything I know until now. Issei, really? Juzu, yes, I know, but what took me months, I'll teach you in hours. Issei, I don't know if I'm ready to learn all the knowledge in hours. Juzu, yes, I know, that's why I brought someone. Issei, to whom? Juzu, look. A masked man appeared who looked like a murderer or something similar. Issei, and who is he? Juzu, he is one of those who followed him. Issei, so you accompanied. If I accompany him and he receives that same curse. Issei, and what is your name? Rinjuo Makeda, and what is your name, boy? Issei, my name is Issei Hujo. Rinjuo, so you were from the Hujo family? Your grandfather told me a lot about you before you were here. Issei, really? Rinjuo, yes, well, it's time for us to train you, although it will only be here, you will have to reinforce it out there, do you understand? Issei, yes, but what is training about? Rinjuo, since your grandfather trained you, it won't be so complicated for you to learn everything we will teach you here, and remember that you are a descendant, and that the oath must be respected until death, do you understand? Issei, yes, I honor it to this day. Rinjuo, that makes me happy. Well, when the weather is bad, give it a go, come with us to a training place. Issei, yes. The three go to a place that could have been created by the Rinjuo being in Issei's mind. Outside of Issei's mental space. She was spending time with the girls who were telling her what Castano was like now and what their story was, although some were more than others. Mari, thank you girls for telling me what my grandson has become. To be honest, I am very surprised by everything he has achieved, but it was to be expected given the blood that runs through his veins. Rias, why do you say it like that? Mari, these are things that I experienced with my husband, and he made me realize many things, just like with my grandson, and I knew the reason for that behavior, it was just like him. Mari remembered her husband who was exactly the same, and how she had met him that day and everything they had gone through, that brought a feeling of happiness and sadness to her, and the chestnut-haired grandmother shed a few tears. Rias, what does Oba-san have? Mickey, what's up, mother? Mari, nothing, just that this reminded me of him, and how he left this world. Mickey, I fill you with memories, isn't it? Mari, yes, but those are the memories I treasure the most. Mickey, yes, I know, I can't believe it's been years since he left. Mari, yes, I know, but well, that will be what you will treasure, that feeling when you are with the man you love, those moments are the most beautiful that one can appreciate. Each one of them thought about those words, each one could say what moments made them fall in love with the brunette. Mari, come on, I want to show you something. They all followed them directly to the room where Chestnut was resting. Ross, and what they wanted to show us. Mari, just like he is now, that's how my husband was when they tried to attack me one of those many times. Rias, and what happened? Mari, well, He had become another person. Sasaku another person. Mari, yes. His grandmother approached and stroked the brown-haired boy's hair. Mari, I know that in your veins, son, various knowledge runs through you, and it seems that you have already found it. Chaisis, it seems they already found it. Mari, I know you have lived in our village, but you don't know the history of its formation. Chaisis, like that, I've been to the celebrations. Mari, yes, you have been there at the celebrations, but you have never asked yourself why the celebrations. Chaisis, to tell the truth, no, I've never asked myself. Mari, when he wakes up, we will teach you the meaning, all of you. They were all intrigued, but the one who left the most doubts was for Issei's grandmother, who had lived in the village but knew the reason for their celebrations. Mari, oh, my grandson, it's time for you to come back. Many have already come. It's time for you to come back too. The leader has to come back. Chapter 5, Giving Neck to the Last Science. In the Gremry castle there were all the girls who were talking with the chestnut's mother and grandmother about things about him until something happened that surprised the girls, but that was an indication of destiny. A guard arrived at the Gremry castle. Guard, excuse me ladies and clan leaders, I have some important information for you. Valana, what information do you bring? Guardian, what are the territories of Agars, Astaroth and Perdieron? Graphia, really, what happened? Guard, apparently the same thing happened with the clans that rebelled, and this time not only traitors but they also brought, and just said that they need your help. Valana, okay, let's go girls. Look, us too. Valana, yes, we may need your help, but we can't just leave them here, as they might infiltrate. Mari, I'm going too. Chaisis, now too. Rias, seriously you too, Obasan. Chaisis, if you need all the help you can get. Akeno, and you Obasan. Mari, I have a feeling you'll need my help. Valana, okay, let's help them. Asia, and Issei-san. Valana, we'll leave him in the care of some guards. They all leave, even the dragons went to help the Perdieron territory where the battle was taking place. Meanwhile in Issei's subconscious. Jizu, come on, you can do it. Issei, yes. Issei was on a cliff with 500 kilograms tied to his waist, and one hand tied to his back while he held on with one hand on the corner of that cliff going up and down. Rinjo, come on, you only have 10 left, and you complete your training. Issei, yes I know, 990, 991, 992, 993, 994, 995. Jizu, come on, you only need 5 more. Issei, 996, 997, 998, 999 and 1000. Rinjo, you did it well. The two pull Issei to rest. Issei, I'm done. Jizu, if you did it, well with this your training ends. Issei, and now what, Grandpa? Jizu, we'll have to return to our land. Issei, yes I know, but do you think he's ready? Jizu, if you are ready I give you my blessing. Issei couldn't hold it in any longer and hit his grandfather as hard as he could. Jizu, shedding some tears, told him. Jizu, now do your duty, and I hope they give you their blessing too. Issei, yes. Jizu, well here we say goodbye and remember to go to our land. Issei had been released from that trance, but he couldn't open his eyes anymore and only communicated with his partner. Drake, Ibu, you are there. Issei, yes, what do you need, Drake? Drake, I was worried that you wouldn't be in touch with me when I was communicating. Issei, it's just that I was training with my grandfather. Drake, wait, you met your grandfather again, like? Issei, I don't know exactly, but it's always like that for us. Drake, us. Issei, I'll tell you later, and tell me Dryag what happened. Dryag, nothing, just that you were unconscious. Issei, yes I know, well how is my physical body? Dryag, recovering from the transformation. Issei, yeah, well let's wait for my body to react. Dryag, yes. While in Perdieron territory, a war was being fought between deserters against the girls, that war was complete chaos. Those who were in the army were demons, angels, fallen angels, Asgardians, Olympians, ogres, goblins, magicians, and a whole army of other races who had rebelled and taking advantage of the fact that the Securudii had fallen. They took the opportunity to break into the underworld on the orders of their mistress Jasmine. On the other side, barely resisting, were the leaders, Gremry Group, Citri, Phoenix, Belial, Jaldabaoth, as well as other girls and goddesses. Also helping was a friend of the leader of the Perdieron clan. The traitor's army was cornering the girls, and even the powers of Graphi, Seraphil, and others were diminishing, since thanks to the leader of the Perdieron clan he found a way to diminish the powers of the strongest women in the supernatural world. LP, surrender and you will not suffer. We will give you another chance to join us. L.A. We will never join forces with such wretches as you. Lord. A. Surrender if you have no other choice. We have already cancelled the powers of the most powerful women in the underworld. They were right, they already had them on the ropes and Castano was unconscious. What could they do? Valana, it's okay, isn't it? Mari, we will not give up. Valana, what are you doing? We have no other choice. It's all over now. Mari, what life has taught me is that we can always count on just one chance, an ace up our sleeve. Lord. P. And who are you? Mari, I am the grandmother of the Securudii, and of a warrior more powerful than heaven has ever seen. Lord. A. And the Securudii had not fallen at the hands of the others. Mari, this is what you believe most. The warrior will respond to the call of his family and land. Lord. P. That's not possible. Mari, I'll try them on. Mari, Issei's grandmother, stood in front of the group of girls and whistled. This is where you look at minute 110. In Gremry Castle. Issei was lying unconscious in bed when he heard the whistle. Issei, you heard that, Dryag? Dryag, what a thing. He heard the same whistling sound again. Issei, oh no. Dryag, oh no, what? Issei, it seems they are in danger and have revealed themselves. I have to wake up now. Drake, you can't yet. Issei, Drake, you still don't know me well, but I'll just tell you that I won't allow them to hurt you, and that means dying. I will die, but as a coward and never give up. Issei in a subhuman effort woke up, put on only his sneakers and left. Those who were watching were going to stop him, but he went through the window and with his armor he flew away at great speed. Issei, I hope it arrives in time, and whether they hurt you or not, you'll know what I'm capable of. In the Perdieron territory. The girls were cornered almost in front of the Perdieron castle, confident that Issei's grandmother's plan would work. Chises, I'm sure this will work. Rias, yes, Obasan. Mari, there is a lot about Issei and where he comes from that they still don't know. Lord P, apparently it didn't work. Mari, who says no? At that moment the sky darkened. The sky was darkened. From the skies they were tormented and struck by lightning that shook everything around them. Thunder crashed down on everything in its path, the sounds echoing across the land. That instilled fear and death. The aura felt heavy, they sensed an aura of death in the distance. And in the distance, a crimson light could be seen. Mari, here he comes, she said silently. In the distance they heard several power increases that only a Longinus could make, that type of increases or sound, the booster gear. The Securudii was alive, but as he wondered when a great flame appeared from the sky. And all the army moved away, but only a few were saved from the great ball of fire that appeared from the skies. In a moment of silence the sky opened, and at great speed a red armor descended to the ground in front of the armies, and behind were the girls. That aura instills death, destruction, and pain. To the surprise of many, the Securudii was alive and came promising pain to those who entered his land. Lord P, wow, but we have the very same Securudii here. Ha, you really are an annoying guy. But since our leader is feeling generous, she said if we saw you, we would give you another chance. Issei, tell your leader and the traitors that what he offers me I already have, and I will give them a warning: leave my territory or suffer the consequences. Those words were noticeably coming as fire and fear to anyone, and the weather in the background didn't help any further. The lightning was lashing down hard. But the leaders already knew what happened to the first ones, to the first group that revealed themselves. When they found out and saw how those who were said to be the strongest appeared, they were killed by the Security, leaving them all unconscious. Even the White Dragon and the Maous Lucifer were the most damaged, hurt and seriously wounded. But with all the damage received, it would not be as strong as before. Now was where they would have to take advantage to destroy it since it was weak. Lord P, what a joke, you brat. Maybe you could defeat those useless people, but you won't finish us off. Issei without his armor is silent, leaving his body exposed without any armor to protect him from all the threats that were ahead. How many renegade demons and other traitors from other factions were in front of him? He knelt down, took a little bit of earth, smelled the earth, which according to his customs, smelled like the earth where his body would probably rest. But he was not intimidated by what was in front of him. Rather, he knew that if he died fighting and not because he was a coward. Issei, you asked for it. Note that I didn't warn you, Drake. Drake, yes partner, Welsh dragon balance breaker. The power he wielded made the earth tremble, instilling fear and dread in his adversary, and the fact that behind them, in the background, thunder and lightning lashed the battlefield. But the leaders were confident that their army would destroy the little force that the Security wielded. Bad decision. Lord A, come on, don't just stand there. It's just a tin armor or else you'll lose the benefits of our leader. The armies returned from their trance and began to run to where the chestnut was. The chestnut tree, without hesitation, went to exact revenge or blood. He took off his helmet, and just like before, a huge flame came out of his mouth that destroyed everything in front of him. Anyone who stood in its way would pay the consequences and be swept away by a giant call coming from the chestnut tree's mouth. Almost half of the army died on the battlefield by the Security, where the bodies were already charred. They tried to stop him with magic, but the armor was resistant to the weak spells he cast at them. A river of blood covered the battlefield. In the middle of the battlefield, that red armor stopped. Issei, come on, that's all you have against me. How pathetic, come on, come and kill me unless you're cowards. That infuriated the army. All with their wings they rose from the ground and chased the chestnut tree. Drake, what do you intend to do? Issei, just finish this faster. The chestnut was flying almost at ground level, while behind him, almost the entire army was chasing him, while in that same place the spectators just watched as they chased him, and wondered what he was up to. Rias, what are you doing? Valana, I don't know, I hope it's not something risky. But the dragons just watched and hoped that he wouldn't do what they thought and predicted he was going to do. Tiamat, I hope you don't know what I'm thinking. Ophis, I think he will. Akeno, excuse me Ophis-sama, what is Issei-kun trying to do? Ophis, just look. Everyone was paying attention. Meanwhile with Issei. Issei, well, it's time. Suddenly the chestnut tree began to head straight up. And as the whole army was following him, they still kept raising. From a distance you could see how that red light was almost reached by a large crowd. Trihexa, you're not going to do that, or are you? Issei, yes, there's not much left. He was approaching a specific point. Issei, come on, Trihexa deactivates my wings. Drake, as you wish, Ibu. At high altitude he deactivated his wings and let himself fall, letting gravity carry him down. The renegades did not understand what was happening, but they quickly followed him. As I plummeted almost to the ground, I raised my hand. Issei, I'll load the clown on them. And with a ray of magic directly from his hand he took out all those who were chasing him. As the dead bodies of the traitors were being lowered, he quickly activated his wings before touching the ground and seeing a cyclops and ogres approaching where the girls were. From the distance of his hands came two more spears. These were not normal. Both looked like two rays that pierced the enemy in the head when the bodies fell. When the damage had disappeared, more came in front. They didn't realize that at that moment they saw the red armor. The brown-haired man opened his helmet. While he was in flight, he just turned around, gave a smile and winked with his eye, while closing his helmet. He couldn't make a tight turn, From Ascalon he nailed it to the ground, and with one hand he held the sword and made such a tight turn that it helped him to give an impulse that catapulted him to where the army was. Several moments of magic finished off the army. But the leaders would not be left behind. The perdieron leader attacked with powerful magic spells. That if they were able to attack him and damage the armor, they forced him to retreat and cancel the armor. Only the bandages they had put on him to heal him were what was helping him endure the wounds from the previous fight, which his body still hadn't gotten used to. While up above, like a coward, the two traitor leaders were mocking each other. Lord A. Look at that weakling, that's what he's called, Security or Red Emperor Dragon that mocks. Those comments began to heat the blood of both Issei and Drake, who wanted to finish off that talker. Lord P. Ha, just with those weak spells I could destroy the Security's armor, how pathetic. In Issei's mind. Issei, look Drake how those talkers talk. Drake, yes. Issei, how about we shut them up? Drake, I think it's a good idea. Outside the mental space. Issei, ha, I'll show you what the Security is capable of, come on Dryag. Dryag, let's go. Issei, Dryag activates the Triana. Dryag, Ibu, I'm sure you won't do what I was left in bad shape with that ability of yours to gain power with the Apays. Issei, I won't do that, why start this, what will stain your name I won't do like that, I will make them fear us and not make them want to mess with the Security. Dryag, if so, that's fine. Inside the chestnuts being all the emotions came out, making all his power come out. Issei, I miss feeling this power. All the energy of the Security passes through his body. The waves of power made the earth tremble, and more than anything else that happened, his power must have caused fear in his adversary. Also including where it came from and what it could be increased to. But what stood out were the expressions of all the girls, including the dragons, who watched the tremendous power that chestnut unleashed. Rosswise, how to increase your power in a single instant. Rias, when did he become so powerful? Gabriel, that's how strong Issei-kun is. Kuroka, wow, that's how strong Issei has become, Naya. And that was almost every word that all the girls involved said. Meanwhile the army was static until the leader spoke. Lord A, come on, fight, it's just an illusion. The armies launched themselves. Issei, diluted, mode change, Welsh blaster bishop. Expelling all his power by changing his armor in just a moment. From his back, two large cannons began to form, loading several boosts, and with a single shot a large beam of energy was fired from his back, destroying everything in its path. Large numbers of troops had fallen, even the shield summons were nothing compared to the energy that was fired from the armor cannon. Not even the orcs and other creatures of devastation could do what the chestnut tree did. Everything was a massacre all around. But it doesn't end there. Several monsters turned out to be giants almost 3 times the size of the chestnut tree. Issei, mode change, Welsh dragon rook. With that armor he doubled his size and with a few blows the monsters were shot down. Issei, not yet, more to come, Welsh sonic boost night mode change. He turned into another armor and with another movement he became super fast, holding Ascalon in his hand and heading towards the rest of the army. And a crimson light entered that sea of darkness. And the only thing the deserters saw was a crimson armor pass in front of them, and then they felt nothing. When that light came out from there, various bodies fell, some were decapitated, others cut in half. The only survivors were the leaders of the hunts and a few fallen angels, but it didn't end there. The traitors made a mistake that would cost them their lives. Chestnut was a few meters away from the girls when something appeared in the sky that would signal his death sentence. Lord P, it seems you have wiped out our entire army, congratulations. Lord A, but we still have several cards to play, soldiers, reveal our secret weapon. In heaven there was a fallen angel who had a little kitsune, more specifically the daughter of the leader of the yokais, Kunuo, who was kidnapped from the yokai temple when the leaders had betrayed them. The fallen angel had the little girl in his arms and on her neck, the fallen angel had put a knife to prevent any attempt to take her life. The little girl was asking for help. Kunuo, Hahawe help me, Sekir Yudai help me. Kunuo cried for help while shedding some tears. While her mother didn't know what to do, she was sure to regret her decision. Yasaka, calm down Kunuo, Mom is on her way. She was going to the rescue when she was stopped by someone. Mari, wait. Yasaka, how do you expect Maria-san to wait, if my daughter is in danger? Mari, yes I know, but don't worry, I know what I'm telling you, let him take care of it, and make them pay for what they did. That left Yasaka worried. Just as the chestnut tree was shocked when it saw the little one, they had entered its territory and threatened its females and family, but trying to hurt its young, they had already crossed the line. Issei, let her go, damn it, or you'll see what I'm capable of. Lord P, and what are you going to do to us? If you move, she'll die. You better give up. You can't do anything. Issei, you're wrong about that. Like you, I still have several cards to play. Lord A, what? The chestnut was in a position to go and rescue the little girl. When his eyes, they had turned green, and from green to the color of the vampire's eyes, stopping time, more specifically the subject there. See, what's happening to me, I can't move. Issei dies. A spear, more specifically an ice spear, pierced the head of the fallen angel, dropping the little Kunuo. From one moment to the next, the chestnut tree headed towards where he was at high speed. But he was not alone. A blue dragon was chasing him and was coming right in front of where Kunuo was falling. From his mouth a large ball of fire combined with electricity had been launched. The chestnut was still focused on not hurting his baby and stretched out his arms to reach her. When he had the little girl in his arms, he turned around to receive the impact. But it wasn't much. He just grazed it. And at high speed he headed to another place to distract the dragon that was chasing him from behind. While the little girl clung to the chestnut tree's chest. Like him, he held on tighter to her arms so that she wouldn't fall while she was in flight. After a few minutes he did the same stunt as before again. Only this time he had a little girl who depended on him. Issei, Kunuo, hold on tight and don't let go for any reason. Kunuo, it's okay. It is guided on a slope while the dragon continues to throw balls from below. And the same thing happened when he closed his wings and fell into a dive, just like the dragon who was chasing him was doing. Something the dragon didn't expect. He turned around and with one hand he had his young and the other pointing at the dragon. He threw an ice spear, wounding the dragon as it was still falling. When he almost reached the ground and began to fly, he hit the ground. As he continued flying, the dragon was still alive but was wounded and threw a ball of lightning that hit the chestnut's wing. He gave a small scream, and before hitting the ground he protected the little girl and threw himself over her body as he stood up in an instant. But it wouldn't end there. The leaders were preparing a direct attack where the girls were. The brown-haired boy was running as fast as he could and had the little girl in his arms. He had an idea. Issei, Kunuo, get ready, I'm going to let you loose for a while. Kunuo, but I wouldn't be in danger. Issei, I don't swear that I will protect you, trust me. Kunuo, it's okay. Issei, now. Issei launched while turning into his armor. Issei, Welsh Dragon Balance Breaker. He had converted and took flight with the little girl back in his arms. But he had to hurry because the magic beam had been launched. It was a matter of seconds before it would make an impact. The chestnut, with all his speed, rushed to receive the impact, but he had to leave his young so that it would not suffer the impact. So I talked to her. Issei, Kunuo, are you ready to jump into your mother's arms while I stop the magic beam? Kunuo, are you sure? I don't want to lose you. Issei, yes, I'll be back in less time than a rooster crows. Are you ready? While where the girls were, Ayasaka, worried about her daughter, saw the red armor approaching and saw that the girl was turned in a position that gave the impression that she was going to jump. Yasaka understood what they were going to do and stood as close as possible to greet her daughter. Issei, now Kunuo. Issei had slowed down and got as close as possible to be near Yasaka, when he slowly threw her, as she fell into her mother's open arms. When he saw this, he knew he had accomplished one of his goals. What really worried him was that the energy beam was just inches away. Where Asia was, they were all there, instead of Vala, the leaders. He had received the impact which was so powerful that it had destroyed the armor, but the lightning did not end. Chestnut was stopping the lightning bolt with his hands so that it wouldn't hit the target. Just like he was just avoiding it with fire magic that came out of his hand like a lightning bolt that wouldn't stop. He was so strong that he forced the chestnut to kneel on the ground. The power emanating from the lightning was very powerful, and all the physical exhaustion had already consumed him, plus he wasn't in the best condition. When I still had aftertastes from the previous fight. His energy was already exhausted when he tried to regain it. It was the little kitsune who was vouching, but there was a word that restored the brown-haired boy's energy, and with more emotion than before. Kunio, come on, you can beat them, come on Ota-san, you can do it, you promised me. Issei turned to look at his little girl, and that face of longing and concern, as well as the looks on the others' faces, made him regain his strength. Issei regained his strength and gathered all the power he had in reserve. He took out his armor again without his helmet and gathered all his power and launched a powerful lightning bolt from the bottom of his chest that split the enemies. And with a last effort a ball of fire came out of his mouth and directly hit the perdieron leader in the eye, blinding him. He had already exhausted his last strength. He had fallen to his knees, but it didn't end there. But what would happen next? What would the chestnut do? Issei Hujo as the Sekiryudai and a dragon that would become feared and respected throughout the supernatural world. And it would clear Drake's reputation as the most powerful celestial dragon in history. The little girl couldn't stand it any longer, and jumped out of her mother's arms and ran to where Chestnut was kneeling. That took the brown-haired man by surprise. He hugged her, but something took him out of his mind. The little girl had a slight cut. One could say it was nothing, but for Chestnut it represented that she hadn't hurt her child. The chestnut was holding something that he didn't want to use, but the damned forced him. Issei, Kunio, come back to your mother. Kunio, but... Issei, do this, it could be ugly. Kunio, it's okay. After the little girl returned to her mother, the chestnut stood up as scales and another power began to emerge from his back. Issei, now if I don't forgive them for this, they dared to harm my child, they will wish to never enter my territory and have gotten in. Meanwhile the leaders were regrouping. Lord, that was amazing, but we have another surprise for you, Sekiryudai. From the sky a great black dragon appeared and revealed itself, its strength and power almost equal to that of the two heavenly dragons. Issei couldn't believe he already had two more problems. He had felt that someone he thought was dead appeared, as well as another one who hoped he was alive to send him back where he belonged. It was also good to use everything he had in his favor to finish this one. Issei, Drake, how long has it been since you fought alone without the need of your carrier? Drake, it's been several centuries, why? Issei, you don't want to feel alive again, fight someone. Drake, seriously, you're serious, mate. Issei, tell me yes or no. Drake, of course. Issei, I knew you'd say that. Well, it's time to finish those guys off. Issei had created a clone of himself. While the clone had flames around its body and had large dragon wings coming out of its back. Issei, see, ready Dryag. Dryag, it's too late for yesterday, let's go. Issei, see, okay, Dryag promotion. Something like when Saji transforms into Dragon King. Issei's clone had been engulfed in flames when a roar came out of those flames, when suddenly large claws came out just as a large red dragon appeared. Dryag, oh yeah, back in the game. Issei, take care of the black dragon, I'll take care of the others, it's clear. Drake, clear as water Ibu. Whoever says what the reference is will get a mention in the next part. The girls were more than surprised. The celestial dragon, the red dragon emperor, was alive again. Issei, and I can't stay behind, now they will pay for hurting my child and interrupting my territory. The chestnut tree began to transform, half of his body began to sprout dragon scales. And the other a dark force, his eyes filled with blood, and his pupil was torn like a dragon. And a colossal force took hold of him. Issei, armor, great dragon warrior, balance breaker. That armor was very different from the Securities. It was as if two forces joined together, and that powerful armor came out. Issei, time for them to pay. He threw himself into battle against the dragon, which did minimal damage to his armor, only a couple of cuts and magic damage. He taught the dragon who the true dominant dragon was and whose territory it was. He dragged the dragon hard against the ground, leaving it badly injured. The dragon had no escape. The chestnut tore off his wings, so that with a great flame he could kill him. After the leaders tried, casting all kinds of spells to stop him, nothing worked. The first to fall was Lord Agar's. He was not a worthy opponent to face the chestnut. It only took a few energy blasts to his body, a lightning attack to knock him out. The other one who followed was Lord Perdieron, plus he did put up some challenge, but it was just a warm-up for Chestnut. It was as if he were playing cat and mouse with his victim, but he just left him K. Or when he left him like that with 3 powerful blasts from his mouth. The one who surprised him was Lord Astaroth, who put up more of a fight than the other 2 talkers. The fight lasted some time before giving him the final blow, his coup de grace. Something hit his armor. Better back off. Waiting for the coward to come out. That aura and blows became familiar. It was no coincidence that those leaders had another power from someone he eliminated. Just like another of the girls felt that aura, and more than one. Rosswei's grandmother does have that power. But I was confused. Gondel, apparently, there is another presence. Rosswei's, another presence, what are you referring to, Oba-san? Gondel, there is another presence, one that becomes familiar, and if I'm correct it seems we have the company of an heir to a demon king. And finishing saying that, he appeared before everyone's eyes. In front of them was Shalba Beelzebub, the successor of the demon king Beelzebub, but the question was why he is alive, if he had already departed to the world of the dead. Issei, apparently destiny brings surprises, ol Shalba. Shalba, insolent, you're trying to disrespect me, brat, insolent child. Issei, if I remember correctly, I didn't destroy you into 1,000 pieces. Shalba, yes, I still want my revenge, but if you're wondering, I've been revived so I can reform this world and I won't let that insolent boy put an end to my plans, and I've also come for my beloved. Issei, beloved. Shalba, yes, my beloved Seraphal Leviathan. From behind the woman's voice was heard saying that. Seraphal, I already told you, Shalba, that I'm not going with you. Shalba, come on, don't be silly, come on, come with me. Seraphal, I already told you. Shalba, you'll come with me whether you like it or not. He launched himself to take Seraphal, and before he could even reach her, he had been intercepted by a chestnut tree with a blow to the stomach. Issei, I already told you no. Send him far away from where he was. Shalba, damn security, I always ruining my plans, but this time it will be different, and as unpleasant as it may seem to me, there is another person who revived or not Diodora Astaroth. Just as Shalba appeared, there was also that arrogant man who tried to be clever by kidnapping the nun and bishop of Rias. When he revealed his entire plan to her, and from her eyes, small drops of tears came out, which she shed. Issei was waiting for that moment, for her to appear, since the first time he didn't send her to love, but this time he would make him pay for every drop of tears that the blonde shed. Issei, apparently Christmas came early, bringing me another chance to kill you. Diodora, I won't give you that pleasure. Issei, I'll make you pay for everything you did to Asia. Diodora, let's find out. Shalba, stop talking, let's kill the security. Diodora, yes. The two of them went for the chestnut. He deactivated his armor, as he wanted to kill those two with his bare fists. The first one he received was the damned Diodora. Only one hit was necessary to get him out of the ring. While the fight against Shalba was the one that interested him most, to enjoy the beating he would give Diodora afterwards. The impact that was made when Shalba and Issei met was a wave of power that expanded. The battle was even, only magic was used, none fell. After Shalba made a wrong move, he regretted even trying. He launched an attack where the girls were. That cost him dearly. He threatened the dragon's family. That made him angry how only after that move with a couple of close hits to Beelzebub. He grabbed her by the head and dragged her all the way. After a few more hits on the ground, he spread his wings and lifted her up while they were fighting head to head in the air while falling. The chestnut put Shalba underneath so that he would fall and hit the ground. Issei, Shalba won't save you from this one. And they hit the ground, leaving the descendant of the Demon King very badly injured. While Diodora was approaching where Asia was, Issei realized it, and was already furious with him. He would unleash himself and kill him again with his own hands. Issei, oh no, of course not. He flew to where he was and punched him, which sent him several meters away. Issei, you know when I was waiting for this, you know how long I'm waiting to be able to kill you for what you did. I grabbed the bastard by the neck and hit him twice in the stomach, knocking him to the ground. Issei, get up you bastard, I'll make you pay for every tear Asia shed when you kidnapped her. As soon as he stood up, the chestnut gave him a series of blows that left the Astaroth very hurt and wounded. Issei, that time I couldn't kill you because of what you did, but this time I won't have mercy. He began to attack Diodora's body furiously, landing several blows to his ribcage, leaving him injured and breaking all his bones. He threw the traitor's lifeless body where his wounded father's body lay. While that was happening, the damned Shalba wanted to attack him. He realized in time when with one hand he deflected his attack, hit him twice and threw him to where the other leaders were. Just as Drake had finished off the dragon that had jumped on him, he did fight the red dragon. Returning to the chestnut, Shalba grabbed a discarded sword and was going to attack the chestnut from behind when he turned around and stabbed the demon in the stomach with a dagger. As he nailed it, he approached her ear and whispered, Issei, hey Shalba, she will never belong to you, she is mine. You heard she is mine, so you better forget about her. While there would be more wounds for him to bleed to death. He repeated the same with Diodora. I lift him up, stab him with the dagger, approach his ear and say, Issei, look, damn Diodora, this is so you remember and pay for everything you did to Asia. Every tear will be paid for when you die. And I heard this, she never belonged to you, she always belonged to me, she's mine, you heard right, my bastard. So keep the memory because you'll never have her. I left the body while I watched how it was bleeding out when someone was going to attack it. It was Artur Pedragon, another who had betrayed his family and the underworld. Issei, what do we have here? Traitors of Vala's team. Artur, I would love to kill you, but they ordered me to take them. Artur was heading to pick them up when Issei disarmed him of his sword and hit him twice in the ribs and said in his ear, Issei, I want you to take a message to the traitors, tell them not to come near my territory or my females again, they will suffer the consequences or worse yet, they will see death in person. Artur shot where his father was, all wounded, he wanted to kill him but it was not the time, he would return and take revenge. Meanwhile the girls were amazed at the power that Chestnut had but some were blushing. The girls were the dragons and the yokais who watched as Chestnut, or the male, faced the traitors, demonstrating his supremacy, his power, and showing who was the most powerful. That made them blush and that's what they were looking for in a male, plus as a bonus he had saved the daughter of the leader of Nueva Colas, so it was already decided that he would be their male. The traitor had taken all the traitors with him using a magic circle. Drake, well the show is over. Returning to the clone and from the clone he returned to the original body. When Chestnut saw that they were gone, he screamed, what did all the anger and desire to kill him mean? After storing Ascalon in the gauntlet I had the other one. While his body was taking its toll. Fatigue and lack of energy exhausted him. He couldn't stand it any longer and collapsed, but before he could hit the ground, someone had saved him. That someone was Serorg, who had some marks of wounds. He had once again taken the energyless body to where the girls and matriarchs of the clans were. Lady Pedragon offered her home so that Chestnut could recover. They had taken him to a room inside the Pedragon castle. There were many doubts about what had happened. But why had he come out of it only with the grandmother's whistle? These were doubts that the chestnut tree's grandmother would answer after something she had planned. The grandmother asked to be taken back to her house and brought back. Everyone didn't understand why that was happening, But Mickey already had an idea of what would possibly happen, but she wasn't sure. At Grandma's house, she takes several ingredients, a bowl and a knife, hidden away. Returned to where they were. And they asked why that was? Rias, what's that for? Mari, it's something that will help revive Issei. Mari was preparing the tonic, but since it was a remedy where she was, she didn't know what she would do until Mari gave him the tonic to drink. And he whispered in his ear, Mari, come on, tell me what you think and want from them. The chestnut-haired boy's body began to move his head as the liquid passed through his stomach and from there into his bloodstream. They were all worried. They were approaching the chestnut tree's bed when Mari had taken the knife out of her sleeve and pointed it at the girls. Mari, stop right there, don't take another step. Rias, what's going on, Oba-san? Mari, I'll tell you what's going on, I don't trust you. I don't allow my grandson to stay with you, so it's better. The grandmother walked over to where the chestnut tree was and pointed the knife at the chestnut tree's neck. Mari, don't try anything or he'll die. Asia, why she's doing it? Mari, why don't I know their intentions with my grandson, or what they want? I bet they want him just for power, so it's better that he doesn't belong to anyone. Mari was going to cut the chestnut's neck when Akeno, please don't do it, I beg you. Mari, really? Rias, yes, please don't do it. Mari, if I don't do it, they would be willing to take your place, eh? They all remained thoughtful. Mari, they would be willing to die for him, give their lives for him. There was a moment of silence. Until Mari, I knew it. Starting to move the dagger when Rias, stop, I'm ready. Mari, really? Rias, yes. Mari was watching her reaction. Akeno, I'm also willing to die for him. Asia, me too. Kaneko, me too. Kuroka, me too. Naya. Zenobia, me too. Irina, me too. Rosswise, me too. Ravel, me too. Gabriel, me too. Penuim, me too. Miriam, me too. They were all taking a step forward every time they accepted. Sasaku, me too. Akeno, Sasaku. Sasaku, what? It seems that I also fell in love with him. Seraphal, me too. Sona, me too. Tsubaki, me too. Momo, me too. Tsubasa, me too. Tomo, me too. Ruruko, me too. Rhea, me too. The Phoenix entourage, us too. The Belial entourage, us too. The Jaldabaoth entourage, us too. And the humans wouldn't stop there either. Mari, me too. Kasumi, me too. I am, me too. Sayuri, me too. Yuna, me too. Nina, me too. Ayako, me too. Satomi, me too. The dragons too. Ophis, me too. Tiamat, me too. Akali, me too. Milet, me too. He was even surprised that their mothers, the matriarchs, had accepted. Valana, me too. Rias, Oka-san. Valana, what? It seems I fell in love with him. Graphia, me too. Rias, you too. Graphia, yes. Shuri, me too. Akeno, Oka-san. Sayaka, me too. Sasaku, you too, Oka-san. Sayaka, yes. Fujimai, me too. Kaneko and Kuroka, also Oka-san. Fujimai, yes. And the other leaders. Even the goddesses. Mari couldn't believe that all of them were willing to give their lives. She could tell there was no doubt in his eyes or his voice. They were all ready, they were all determined, you could see that in their eyes there was no doubt, even their attitude changed, they were all worried about the one they would give their lives for. Mari, seriously, they would give their lives for him. If they could find someone better than him, more powerful, richer, more muscular with a better attitude, they'd prefer him. Trying to see if they changed their decision or find out if they were really in love with him. They all responded at the same time. Oh no, we won't leave her. Mari could see that his words were true, her attitude would be when responding. There was no doubt they were truly in love with him. Good to know, she had thought. The grandmother could not contain her serious attitude and began to laugh slightly, leaving the girls with a look of, Mari, if they thought I was going to kill my own grandson. Mickey doesn't hate to believe it. Her doubts were resolved, but well, it seemed she discovered that all of their intentions with her son were true. Gondal and Chisis were in the same situation, but well, I would have to see the explanation. Rias, yes. Mari, of course not, I would never do that, it was just to try something. Akeno, something. Mari, I wanted to know if you would be willing to give your life for love and not for superficial things like power or money. That's what I wanted to know, but here it didn't work out as well as I wanted to do at home. But oh well, what can you do? All with a drop of laughter on their faces, they laughed slightly. Mari, but well, later I will give an explanation that everyone wanted. Mari, since you have shown me that you would give your life for him, I will show you something that only family members can do. He put a red food ball into the chestnut's mouth. When the ball passed from her throat, the grandmother whispered in her ear, Mari, show me what is in your thoughts, show me your desires for them. The chestnut was not conscious, but the voices broke into his thoughts. The grandmother gave orders to go back, the girls nodded. When the chestnut slightly stood up, his body was tense, and a red cloud came out of his mouth. Mari, here it comes. From that red cloud appeared an illusion that surprised everyone. In that red cloud appeared Escheries, and in that cloud appeared dressed in a wedding dress at the altar next to him. It was from his perspective that he was going to marry his beautiful redhead. Rias was surprised that she looked like that with him, that excited her, she couldn't believe it. That the man who saved her and confessed already thought like that left them perplexed. When suddenly the cloud changed its illusion when it saw another girl who was Akeno. Akeno was more than surprised that the man who stole her heart had that thought about her, she already imagined herself with him like that too. The next one was Rosswise, she was even more surprised than him, the man who was saving her and who saw him as a pervert when he changed his mind about guiding his feelings, he was already seeing her like that, married to him, with her wedding dress. That was what surprised her the most, that she finally got someone who would accept her feelings and be with her. Even her grandmother was surprised that the boy had those feelings for her grandson. She was happy for her grandson that she got an exemplary man. The next era was Kuroka. She couldn't believe it, that young man wanted to play with him, with the one who fought with him. But he also helped her reconcile with her sister, and also when she fought for her people when she found her mother. I couldn't believe he was already thinking about having something with her. She wanted him too, she wanted to have a family with him, to be with him forever. The next era Zenobia was one of those that took me by surprise. Since she insisted on having strong children, but he was already thinking about a life with her by his side. She already thought differently when she was getting to know him. But I never visualized being married to him. Like her teacher, Griselda never expected to find someone like that, who would accept her just the way she is. The next one was Irina, who couldn't believe that, or well, yes. Since they had both promised to be together when they grew up, they would get married. It seems he would keep his promise to be with her in holy matrimony. Even so, it would surprise him. The next one to appear was Ravel. She couldn't believe this, but she didn't know he felt that way about her, but she did to him. After some misunderstandings they had, she began to fall in love with him, but she didn't know that he felt that way about her. Next was Asia, who couldn't believe that her first friend and first love already saw her like this. That I was already thinking about the two of them together married as a couple. He was already looking at her as a woman, and not as his little sister. The next one was Kaneko. She was upset with him from the beginning for being a pervert. But after what happened to his sister, mother and people, he began to grow fond of her. To the point that she fell in love with him. But she never thought that he was already seeing her as his partner, that made her fall in love even more. The next one was Yasaka. She couldn't believe that he would consider her like that. She had already been cheated on by her previous husband, which is why she was disgusted or repulsed by those men who sought her out for her body or status. But him seeing her like that, Even when he proved himself, saving his daughter, protecting her by wiping out her adversaries for her daughter's well-being, confirmed that he was the right man. But he already saw her like that, having a life with her, seeing her as his partner and wife. That would change things for her and her daughter when they are with this man. And so images of all the girls appeared, including leaders and goddesses, and he was already visualizing a life with them. When Mari spoke. Mari, they saw why I had to make sure they would die for him. They all nodded. Mari, but that's not all, there's more. All more. Mari, yes. The grandmother again took out a ball of blue and green food and put it in. When? Chapter 6, Confessions. The grandmother after what happened with the visions, but that was not all. After the food pellet entered the chestnut tree again, he began to feel the same. He tensed and a blue cloud came out of his mouth, where just like in the other one it appeared. This time the girl was there but with someone else. The first arrow was Estuary's. The redhead was more than happy, tears were flowing from her blue eyes, she couldn't believe she was not only married but with a child. But the cloud cast another image alongside the other one, this one was. It was a little girl in his arms, he couldn't believe what he was seeing. I couldn't believe it, the man who had saved her, who had given his life for it, already had plans for the future. That dragon who was like that for them, was already thinking about settling down with her. That confirmed that his heart was not wrong in staying deeply with Issei, and he wanted deep down for that dream to come true. Just like her Venezuelan mother, she was also surprised that her daughter had found a man who didn't see her for her status or as just a piece of meat. He was seeing her as his partner, he wanted her as his life partner. Like her daughter, she had affection for Chestnut. The next era was Akeno. She was also perplexed, that man who saved her and protected her, loved her and took her out of any danger, if that would cost his life, she saw how he imagined her as his wife. Now she was looking at her son who was now in her arms. Just like with the redhead, the cloud changed image and was of herself with another little one in her arms. She couldn't believe it, tears were flowing from her eyes, tears of happiness. She wanted those images to come true and be able to have a family with her brown dragon. That they could have that family, the one he is already building in his imagination. Just like Rias, Akeno's mother Shuri, after her husband cheated on her, who was only with her on a few occasions, he was never with them. But now Chestnut, who was in love with his daughter, was seeing her not as someone who just hung out, he was seeing her forming a family with him, already married with 2 little ones. She couldn't expect more from someone who cares about their family, and for that reason she was in love with him. The next era was Rosswise. She didn't believe any of this either, first seeing herself dressed in her wedding dress and now seeing herself with the one who was possibly her daughter and his. This couldn't be explained to her, it was like she was in a dream. She had always been alone, she had always been single, without a boyfriend to be with or plan these things. And now she looks at this, someone she called a pervert, but that pervert was the one who was already imagining being with her like this. Although she did not deny that those images would one day become reality, she would love to be with someone like him by her side, to be with him until death, to be his life partner. The next image that appeared was Kuroka. She looked with excitement, and only a few tears came out of her feline eyes. She couldn't believe what her eyes were seeing. In that image she was seeing herself with 2 little ones, a boy and a girl, and in her womb she was carrying another child. She wanted to recreate her species, but seeing her like this, her being with her little ones and one on the way who were her dragons, her emotions and feelings were mixed. Now she knew that he was the one her feelings chose to be with her. Her mother, who was watching her for the short time she knew the chestnut tree, defended the town where they lived with her body and hands, even though it cost her her life. In the end, he emerged unscathed, only with the wear and tear of battle and a lack of energy, and she saw that he had a good heart, and from that moment on, she also had feelings for him. The next one was Zenobia. Now the blue-haired girl was really surprised. Not only did she visualize herself being married to him, now she was seeing how the fruit of her marriage had her son. She couldn't believe it, she always said she wanted to have a child, and now she was seeing what her child would be like with him. That made her heart beat faster, and reaffirmed what she felt for him. Just like her teacher Griselda was happy that she would find someone like the others, she too, in the short time that she had known him, and what Zenobia told her little by little, fell in love with the brunette. The next one was Irina. Like the others, she also shed a few tears, since in front of her eyes were two little ones, a girl and a boy. It was more than she had promised when she was a child. Chestnut wanted to be with her until the end, and the fruit of that love was two children. She couldn't believe it. As I believed and prayed to heaven that this dream would come true, that this beautiful dream would come true in the end. The next era was Ravel. In front of her were two images. Two images that were nothing more and nothing less than the images that possibly or the recreation of the little ones who were with her. Those two beautiful creatures were her children that she had with him, or well, that was what he was thinking about, what his daughters would be like with her. But she didn't want to believe that everything that had happened made him want to formalize a family with her, that he wanted to be with her until his last breath. He already saw himself like that in the future. Well, although she wouldn't deny that she also considered that possibility for the future, and what she was thinking would become a reality. His mother was also amazed that the chestnut tree man fought with his son for his fiancée's hand, and also that he fought again with her ex-husband and her son to save them. So she fell in love again, and why not with him? The next era was Asia. She didn't believe this either. Some tears came out of those beautiful emerald eyes, knowing that his love had set its sights on her, and was planning to have a family with her. And to emphasize that those two beautiful girls were the fruit of the love they had, and that if it came true it would be the happiest thing in their life. He never knew who his family was, after everything that had happened since that incident at the church until now. In the chestnut tree's house he found a home, a family, and also a family that he would form with him. And if it were possible for those two beautiful girls to exist, I would raise them and teach them with much love and appreciation, and guide them like their mother who would never abandon them. The next era was Kaneko. She was also surprised that her senpai, whom she called a pervert, was already thinking about being with her. To take care of her and love her, and that from that union came those little fruits of their union. The tears were not long in coming, seeing herself reflected in those images with two little ones who were the children of the dragon who was now unconscious in bed protecting her, her sister, her mother, and her people, who did not hold back from fighting for them even if it meant losing their own lives. It was one of the points that she had fallen in love with. The next one that appeared was Yasaka. She, like the others, was also surprised, first when she saw herself in a wedding dress again, and now she was seeing herself with another little girl. She could not believe that just like her there is Kunuo, who protected her mother from all men because she knew what they had done to her mother. But when she saw the Security go to rescue her mother from the faction of the heroes, she began to feel protected and loved as a father would to his offspring. And what surprised her the most is that when she was captured and taken to that battlefield where there was a moment of corpses and there were several people on one side and on the other side was her mother and other girls and in the middle was him, when they threatened her to give up and he exclaimed to let her go when with a single pain he knocked down the guy who had kidnapped her in the heights, and how he prevented her from falling and getting hurt receiving the damage as well as stopping that damage and that it would not impact with them. And that's why I would like him to be your dad. And let's not even mention her mother Yasaka, who saw that image and felt like crying. Not only was he taking care of his daughter and saving her and his daughter from imminent dangers, like when she was kidnapped in Kyoto, he gave his life to bring her back. Just as she protected her daughter and her from the attacks of traitors, she deserved to be given a chance. After her former husband left her alone with her daughter, she resigned herself to not having contact with men. But he comes and does all this and also adds the fact that he wants to formalize something with her and accept her daughter as if she were his own and then have another offspring from their union. I hope that this is more than just an illusion, that it becomes reality and that he accepts her. But from what you saw, they would accept her. The next one was the magician Le Fay. His admirer was more than happy to know that he not only wanted to marry him, but also have a child with her. That made her very excited to wait for that dream to come true. His mother and sister also shared this idea, and they shared the same feeling for Castano. The next Venezuelan era. Make your hair brown. Although she did appreciate him, and after a few days of knowing him she began to have feelings towards him, but she was married to him. But after it was known about his betrayal towards her, and that he had changed her, because she could not be with him, and she hoped that her daughter would accept that she also fell in love with him. And so the images of all the girls, both mothers and daughters and others, even the dragons and goddesses, passed by. All of them were impressed. And when those images were passing by, Chestnut unconsciously was shedding tears of happiness. They all noticed this and will wait for those images to become reality one day. After all the images of the children passed, he began to descend and lie back down on the bed. Until the chestnut tree's grandmother spoke. Mari, you saw why I had to make sure that everyone was safe to be with him, because he was already convinced, or in his thoughts he had already formed a family with you. They are all right, but suddenly they had an unexpected visitor. In front of them was a beautiful-bodied magician. She was none other than Lavinia Rennie, who was once in love with Vala Lucifer, who arrived crying where the leaders were. But she trusted Lady Pedregon, who was almost a sister to her. L.P., what happened to you, Lavinia? Lavinia, that bastard betrayed me. Venelana, of whom he speaks. Lavinia, of the cursed white dragon, Vala Lucifer. L.P., and what did he do to you? Lavinia, the damn guy had first confessed my feelings for him, and you know what he did. L.P. No. Lavinia, he told me that I wasn't interested, that I was just a nuisance, that no one would ever love me and that I was just a toy for him, that he already had someone else, and you know what the worst part is. L.P. What? Lavinia, what then came here with his fight with the red dragon? He had ordered me to be killed because I had told him that I was going to be with him. Those he sent to kill me couldn't, and what hurt me the most was that he himself gave the order. L.P., it makes me angry to hear that, but you're not the only one, we all suffer like this here. They all nodded. Lavinia, and why? L.P., they turned against us and said he had another one. We almost didn't tell anyone, but someone saved us. Lavinia, who was it? L.P., you're seeing them. Lady Pedregon pointed to the bed where the chestnut tree was resting. Lavinia, he is. Venelana, yes, he is the Securudii. Seraphal, who saved us. Lavinia, seriously, he is the Red Emperor, who Vala was upset with. L.P., that's right. Lavinia, so he ended it all. Seraphal, yes, Mega Lavinia, he finished off the traitors, he alone finished off those who turned their backs on us, he sacrificed himself for us, he is our savior. Lavinia, what a surprise. L.P., yes, but what does Mari-san want to tell us? Lavinia, who is it? L.P., she's his grandmother, she made him come back from his coma to save us again from the traitors, just like she showed us other things, she had said this blushing. Just like all of them blushing. Mari, yes, that's me and you are. Lavinia, excuse my style, I'm Lavinia Rennie, a very experienced magician. Mari, I see, well, as I was saying, that's why I had to make sure, and now I have to tell you something. Rias, and that would be it. Mari, they can't tell you everything they saw. Akeno, why not? Mari, because we're revealing his thoughts, something private to him. And he can't find out, it's like disillusioning him. Rias, I understand. Mari, so everything you've seen stays between us, only we in the family know these secrets, and no one has said anything and I won't start it, so swear to me. All, yes, we swear. Mari, well, since you've seen this, tell me why the magician is the Red Emperor, and why a great red dragon came out of him. Rias, is that the Securudii, and he is called the Red Emperor Dragon. Mari, yes, I know, but what is a dragon to understand what my grandson became? Rias, I couldn't tell you, maybe one of the dragons can tell you. Mari, it's okay. Tiamat, I could tell you, but what do you want to know about us dragons? Mari, tell me what they are like with their family and if they suffer from betrayal. Tiamat, yes, but why do you want to know this? Mari, I have my reasons and something that has to do with what happened in battle. They all wondered what happened after he returned with the little girl, but they would have to find out. Tiamat, okay, first she wants to know how he is with his family or the curse. Mari, the curse, I just want to make sure of something. Tiamat, okay, dragons have a curse called the Dragon's Fall. Mari, the Dragon's Fall. Tiamat, yes, the fall of the dragon. The curse is about what happens if the couple is given the mark of the dragon. Mari, mark of the dragon. Tiamat, if it is when a dragon marks someone by adding the act. For better explanations, it is when the two give themselves body and soul. Mari, now I understand. Tiamat, well, when the dragon mark was given to the person, it is as if one were giving a part of one's being to the person, and if the partner betrays me, if he commits carnal sin behind my back, the damage would be serious for him, and also that it depends on how many partners he has, that is how he will suffer. Following is as if they put a sword in his heart, a short and thin one, penetrating slowly and painfully. It could be considered a slow and painful death, making my insides burn as if it were on fire, and the blood turns into pure poison, making one writhe in pain, and the only solution is death. They were all amazed and somewhat thoughtful that something so bad could happen to a dragon, or worse yet, that it could happen to their dragon who was asleep. Tiamat, well, that's what Mari-san wanted to know. Mari, yes, thanks for letting me know. Tiamat, Tiamat, call me Tiamat. Mari, thanks Tiamat. That made the dragon's heart rejoice, since her future mother-in-law was calling her that, or well, she was the chestnut's grandmother, so it was worth two no's. Mari, well, if you have it difficult, grandson, the store is difficult, although I don't think that will happen. Then Alana, excuse me, what are you saying? I don't think that's going to happen. Mari, nothing, just speaking out loud, and well, let's talk about the following. How is the dragon with his family? Tiamat, well, the dragon in this case is very protective of his females, just as he is very overprotective of his offspring. Just as he would give his life for the well-being of his family, and if someone hurts or wants to attack his family, he is capable of destroying their entire path for such a sin that the only remedy is the death of the one who did that, and also that the dragon is a pure dragon, and that his feelings and emotions are the most sincere he can have. Everyone was also thinking about every word the dragon said, which many were more convinced of being with him forever. Mari processed every word he said, and in the end she knew that Chestnut was as strong as he was weak at the same time. Mari, well, with what they've said, I must point out that all those who are in love with him hit the jackpot. Akeno, and why do you say that? Mari, well, my explanation, just like Tiamat said, with regard to her family, it is worth highlighting that in the village they are somewhat similar. Well, I will tell you how my husband and I experience it, and also how he said it one day. They all paid attention to the words. Mari, where he comes from, when it comes to his partner, as I tell you, they are very romantic, attentive to detail and everything I can say about him. Also, what if someone approaches them? They are very jealous or possessive and do not allow anyone to hurt them. Also, what when it comes to their family, if they are very overprotective of them. In addition to that, if someone hurts them or has the attempt to do so, they do not hold back, they have no mercy on them. But in return they make them suffer and suffer what they cry out for their death, and that is something to fear. What if they mess with someone's family? It is messing with death itself. They were all surprised by such statements, although they didn't understand anything. Mari, well, as I said, now imagine a warrior like that in a dragon's body or vice versa, a powerful combination, and it made me tremble. Asia, so Issei-san. Mari, my grandson, I will not let anything happen to you. He will be your retaining wall, your shield. He will be the one who will be there for you forever. Good if you accept him. First, he would rather be dead than something bad happen to you. Now tell me, is it worth it to be with him after seeing everything you saw, or are you still doubting your love for Dingame? Are you still in time to decline? At no time did they hesitate. Rias, I will never leave him. I would rather be dead than leave him. Akeno, me too. I won't leave him. I'll always be with him. And so each comment convinced them that these girls loved their grandson to the death, and that they would not be afraid to give their lives for his love. That made her grow more attached to his future girlfriends. Mari, well, thank you for that love you have for him, although I can't say welcome yet until he accepts you, but it would be better if we woke him up, right? And for the last time he approached the brown-haired man who was lying in his bed, who after all had more girls and women outside who were willing to be with him until death. Now I could say that he is the king of the harem or not. Chapter 7 Met the Dragon. The unconscious chestnut was still in bed. Wounds and cuts from the war were marked on the chestnut's body as memories of the traitors. The scars were memories of war, the victories that come with them. After what happened, he would be the traitors' #1 enemy. But he was unconscious and they were coming for him. But well, with the facts, this moment would start as a before and after the fight, creating the most powerful warrior in history. Oh well. In the bed, an older woman, known as the chestnut tree's grandmother, approached and woke the chestnut tree up. He approached her ear and whispered, come on, get up, get up. Come on, get out of there, come back, come back. React to your instincts. Lift, move and react to your body. Get up. In his hand he took out a small green glass jar. The fresh green was a medicine that was introduced into the chestnut tree's mouth. The liquid passed through his entire body. You could see how the liquid mixed with his veins, the green of which had mixed with the red blood of the chestnut. The Hugo matriarch's order said that they would stay behind to prevent an accident, which the girls accepted. In a moment the antidote took effect on him. It was at that moment when the brown-haired boy stood up suddenly, his eyes wide. Instantly he placed one hand on the small table next to him and coughed. For a moment he remained static, his breathing was rapid, then it slowed down, controlling himself. The only thing that could be seen was their silhouette, and no sound except their breathing. Until what do I speak? Issei, I know this taste, it can't be, it's from. Mari took a few steps forward and. Mari, you're very far from home. Issei's pupils opened wide, seeing the image of that May woman who she was. Issei, abuela? Mari, apparently you were a bad boy, weren't you, Aguilin? Mickey, you're right. And next to him was his mother. I couldn't stand it anymore, my body moved instinctively. He walked slowly as he knelt down, and slowly lowered his head. The expression was one of sadness and forgiveness, with a few small drops of tears falling from her eyes. Mari, the child has behaved very badly and hidden things. Issei, forgive me, really forgive me, Grandma. Sorry for everything I did and not telling you, just like your mom. Forgive me for not telling you anything. Ask for her mercy and forgiveness. The words filled with sadness and shock were heard by everyone in the room without saying a word. Seeing how he, the one who had defeated a dragon and armies, was kneeling begging for forgiveness for his actions towards his family. Silence fell until, between tears, a hand caressed her face, lifting her head. Mari, come on, Issei, don't be like that. I know what you've done all this time. Your grandfather would be proud, more for your actions than for what you've become. Gently caressing her cheek until slowly rubbing her head. Mickey, anyway, Issei, I know that what you did for us is something that no one would go to those extremes for, so don't be like that. Mari, come on, get up and hug your grandmother. It didn't take a second when he stood up and hugged his grandmother also happy to be able to see what her grandson has become, and the achievements he has had in his new life, and knowing that good women are with him even if he doesn't know it. Mari, you're better now. Issei, yes. Mari, well, because why? He couldn't finish when a child's voice called him. Kunyo, Sekiryudai. It was the voice of the little kitsune, daughter of the leader of the yokais, Yasaka. The little girl came running with her arms outstretched. The chestnut tree noticed this. So he too got on his knees waiting for his little girl's hug. Issei, Kunyo. He responded to the little girl's hug. That scene was like seeing a father reunited with his daughter after a long time. And in the eyes of many girls, especially mothers, they saw this as an opportunity, a man who cares for his children. Issei, it's fine. Kunyo, yes, I miss you, P. He couldn't say anything else because some hooded men didn't look good. Issei, seeing that these guys entered through the wall in a threatening tone, stood up and with his hand pushed Kunyo away, leaving her behind him. Issei, Kunyo, stay behind me. Kunyo, Issei. Issei, what do you want? Hooded, we only come to you by order. Issei, what kind of assignment? Hooded man, we're here for the magician Lavinia. Issei, what do you have against her? Hooded, it's just an order. Lavinia, it is not clear to them when their other accomplices were. Hooded, that's why we came, and the boss will pay us well. Issei, who is the boss or who loves her? Hooded, the Vala Lucifer, he wants her dead. That name and the words short-circuited in my head. But well, it's going to be done. Issei, they know they got into something they shouldn't have. Hooded man, give me the girl and we won't do anything to you. Issei, and if I say no? Hooded, not good for you. Issei, you know who you're talking to. Hooded, with boaster who has no powers. Issei alone. For your information, I almost killed your boss and his other followers. Hooded man, ha, we don't believe that, guys attack. 4 others were heading to kill the chestnut tree. He was walking when he struck a blow and pierced the bodies of the hooded men. Continuing with the last one, a couple of blows were enough. I grabbed him by the neck and said, Issei, tell your boss that if he threatens me again, I will not only hurt him, I will chase him and kill him, that's clear. Hooded, yes. Issei, now tell him and get out of my sight and take your companions before I regret it. The hooded men left using a magic circle. Meanwhile, Chestnut stood there doing nothing, thoughtful, and his gaze reflected that things from now on would not be the same. The strength went away, the leg weakened, falling to his knees the more he worried. But he just raised his hand to keep them from coming closer. He took a breath and stood up again. Now standing, he just looked at the retinues of those people he saved and other faces he didn't know. The first one who approached was worried and didn't hesitate to run to hug him. Rias, Issei is fine, I was worried. Issei, sorry about that and why we are gathered here. Rias, it's just that after your fight, you were very hurt, and we brought you here. Issei, what an event. Rias, yes, and then we'll call your grandmother to treat you. Issei, that was wait, you guys already knew my grandmother. Rias, yes, we just met, just like the others. Mari, that's right, I already found out that you already have a girlfriend or not Sekiryurai. Issei was like he wanted to die or it wouldn't be the worst. Meanwhile Dryag was laughing out loud. Dryag, ha ha ha, they already discovered you. Issei, shut up, you're not helping. Dryag, let me think, no, ha 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 ha. Out with the chestnut tree's grandmother. Mari, and show me well. Issei, what do I show you? Mari, don't play dumb, the armor. Issei, how do you know that? Mari, because I saw you when you fought. Issei was surprised and sighed. Issei, okay. Both the grandmother and her mother were amazed, as were the human girls. Issei, this is the happy armor, Grandma. Mari, yes, I am happy and glad about what you have done before and now. The conversation was affected by someone. Serorg, excuse me, hello Hujo, are you okay now? Issei, Serorg, how are you? What's up with you here? Serorg, I just came to say hello and ask for information. Issei, information. Serorg, yes, because the leaders turned around. Issei, by chance. Serorg, yes, my father revealed himself and others from the clan. Issei, yes. Serorg, and also to tell you that. He couldn't speak anymore. Odin, brat, it seems you've already woken up. Issei, Odin-sama. Azazel, it seems we have a lot to talk about. Michael, please let's talk about this privately. Ajuka, yes. Issei, yes, we have to talk about this. The leaders left, along with Chestnut, to talk. In the room. At a large table sat Zeus, Poseidon, Azazel, Michael, Old Odin, and also Serorg and the 2 maous, in the absence of Seraphal, who was not present for obvious reasons. Azazel, well, since we're gathered, Issei and young Serorg, tell us what happened to Sir Shay and the others. Issei, well, to get straight to the point, Sir Shay and the other lords betrayed us. Zeus, what? Serorg, Just as you heard it, they betrayed us, and my father, former Lord Baal, betrayed us. He betrayed the clan as well as other members with whom I faced to save the lives of innocents. Odin, and Brat, what happened? Issei, the truth is that several lords of the demonic houses and the Mao Lucifer had a meeting with a woman named Jasmine. They talked about joining them. I was almost convinced when some voices told me not to go with them, and from there everything happened. Michael, but why would they leave? Issei, I don't know, maybe it was a promise they were told and they chose to leave, just like my father betrayed us by almost kidnapping my neighbors. Poseidon, but why would they make such a decision? Issei, I don't know, I had to use everything I had to stop his attack and prevent him from committing an attack against them. Zeus, yes, you're right, my daughters were there, you're right, but calm down. In the room. Rias, what's going on? Akeno knows. Venelana, I don't know, they just took it. Mari, and I like it. Seraphil, that's not possible. Mari, they don't care what my grandson is saying to the gentleman. Gondel has a point. Mari, come on, just listen. All okay. They all agreed and left. After a while they heard some voices in the room. Poseidon, please calm down. Zeus, you're right, calm down. Issei, how am I going to calm down, when you yourselves are saying that you are going to sentence them? Azazel, that sentence would be to be a prisoner in Tartarus. Issei, no, that doesn't convince me. Odin, it's the only thing that can be done. Issei, I can't accept it. You know what those wretches tried to do, they didn't just hurt my family, they were going to hurt the girls and kidnap them, that's nothing. Michael, we know, but calm down. Issei, but Mr. Michael, they were also going to hurt your sister, they were even going to kidnap her, injure her, or worse, kill her. Michael, we know, but we have to punish him in an exemplary manner, not with violence. Issei, not with violence, not with violence. You know what I will do if I find each of those traitors. I will hunt each one, and mainly Vala. Azazel, Vala. Issei, Vala, yes, he, the damn guy, ordered the killing of a person even against my family. My family, they know what I'll do with him when I find him. I'll have his damn skull on my desk and the others' damn heads hanging on my wall. A dagger was thrown at the wall and passed through. Odin, we know, but calm down. If we capture them, they will suffer as much as they can, but calm down. Azazel, Odin-sama is right, we will talk about the punishment later. Now another point, how did you get out of that mess? Issei, what do you mean by that nonsense? Azazel, how did you finish them all off? No offense, being a low-class demon and the security to face the white dragon and a Mao, not counting the other leaders and the army they brought. Issei, wit and training and everything I possess. Azazel, I was told something else. Issei, what a thing. Azazel, it's true. Issei, what? Azazel, what I'm saying is that if you have the mark of the security. Issei, so they already told you. Azazel, that's right, but just to confirm. Issei, okay, but. Behind the door. Mari, apparently he's going to show something. Venelana, what a thing. Mari, tell me why I'm not listening. In the room. Azazel, but. Issei, I feel like someone is spying. Everyone stood up. Zeus, who is it? Issei, give me a moment. Behind the door. Rias, Issei disappeared. Sona, like she disappeared. Rias, yes, he disappeared. All focused on listening. Issei, girls, this conversation is interesting. Asia, yes, it is interesting. Issei, why are you so quiet? Irina, Issei doesn't appear. Issei, and is that conversation interesting or not, girls? All Issei. They all fell, opening the door, exposing what they were hearing. Issei, here are the expiations. All, hello? Azazel, wow, it seems they want to hear something. All, yes. Issei, and now they want to see each other, they want to see my brand, right? All, yes. Issei, since you are here, I showed you. Issei took off his bandages and turned around, and there it was. The mark imposed by the Security. Issei, this is the mark of the Security. It is the mark that symbolizes the power of a dragon. Everyone was amazed because it was the first time they saw the mark that returned the power, energy, and strength of the Security. Something that no one could have and possess such power. Even the white dragon couldn't have it. Only he, Security, Issei Hujo, the greatest Security. Odin, so this is the mark. Azazel, I can't believe this. In millennia no one has seen this mark since the war between the two dragons. No one has seen it. Odin, you are right, and right here we have him on our side, but not on our faction. Zeus, yes, you are right. Issei, okay, now let's talk about why the meeting. Zeus, it was because he had revealed himself, and the alliance had been broken. Issei, some of it, dude. Azazel, that's what I thought, because Circe was the one who had made that deal with us, and he was the one who revealed himself. Issei, yes, I know. I myself sent him to the hospital, and I myself want to answer for the acts committed. Michael, but Issei, you haven't committed any crime, you just helped and saved innocent people. Issei, and I myself sent or almost killed everyone and endangered this alliance, and caused another war as Kokabeel wanted. Azazel, and what do you plan to do? Issei, I cordially ask that you follow this alliance, and I as intercessor of the demonic faction along with the other maous, and if something happens, I will give my life as a consequence of the actions I take. Azazel, I can't accept this. You were the one who exposed the traitors. You don't have to bear that burden. Ajuka, either do we. We can't ask you to do that, not when a colleague has broken his word and honor. Asmodeus, yes, we cannot admit this. Issei, you're right, and like I said, whatever is needed, I'll be there to support you as the Security. Ajuka, it's okay. Azazel, we all stay with this deal. All yes. Zeus, well, we're leaving. Both Zeus and Poseidon were gone. Michael, I'm leaving, excuse me. Odin, me too. Azazel, just like me. Serorg, me too. The others left the meeting. Ajuka, we withdrew, goodbye. The others left the meeting, leaving the brown-haired man alone. Issei, well, Drake, I opt for a strategic retreat. Drief, I say yes. Before leaving, someone grabbed him. Rias, oh Issei, we need to talk.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.